Who the heck is PepTalks?
I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. PepTalks. 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 Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. PepTalks. PepTalks.
Who the heck is PepTalk?
They want our women. They want our children.
PepTalks.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the
PepTalks.
Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
PepTalks.
I'm literally coming. I'm literally coming.
PepTalks.
We found weapons of mass
PepTalks.
destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from PepTalks that we are indeed all high on politics.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a new edition of High on Politics. I'm your host, Pep. Nice to see y'all. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, took a little minute there to start the show. Ran into a little bit of a technical difficulty. Who saw that coming? Who could have ever seen that coming on this show? I mean, it's not like we have technical difficulties. That's ridiculous. We're always running 100%, right? Right? Well, like I said, guys, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Hump day. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well today. I'm actually feeling all right. We got the Stan here. He's doing well. He's nice and fed and happy. We saw the cranes today, so I feel like that was a good omen. And we have confirmation that the baby crane is okay. Well, baby crane, that thing's huge now, but it's going good. Stan, yes, Pep, you're on the case. Oh, you know it, Detective Pep, or Sergeant. Oh my God, Sergeant Pepper. Ah, crap. Do get her a stealth belt? Are you talking about my wife? She has she has like these little, for her, the stoma. She has the I think that's actually what, the stealth belt. She has one for swimming. She has one for like everyday use. She's actually got them for all sorts of things. No, I appreciate that. Actually, her stoma, since you know about this, her stoma shrank significantly. So, her team is saying that she's healing up really well. She's gaining weight. She's doing well. I'm so proud of her. Like, she's sitting upstairs right now, probably watching this, probably rolling her eyes at me, but it's okay. Hey, baby. Hope you're doing well upstairs, even though I just saw you, 10 minutes ago, if that. We had to kick the cat out, by the way. The cat was being a little bit of a pain in the butt. Hopefully, we'll be able to let him down, but Tim Curry and Dolly Parton both dead at 80, just days apart. Spooky. Oh, if only, they come in threes, right? So if there's another 80-year-old that anybody can think of that might fit that mold, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because people were like, yeah, but it's people you like. I'm like, but everybody loved Dolly and Tim Curry, so I don't know. Maybe it's time for this third one to be like a 50-50. Yes, Pat, from your mouth to God's ears. Well, hopefully. Maybe he's not. Hopefully, God hasn't written me off entirely, Even though sometimes I feel like he has. It's okay. Man, we have a fun show lined up today. So, that shithead we were watching yesterday about, like, the Hassan thing? This guy that's, like, I'm pretty sure he's part of the Un-F America tour. I'm not entirely sure, but I know for a fact he's on Jubilee, smaller creator. He's a larger creator than I am, but technically in the grand scheme of, like, debate spaces and all this stuff, he's got 8K. I don't know, man. He rubs me the wrong way just entirely. Like, his demeanor sucks. Like, I don't know if that guy actually has friends, and I would warrant that he doesn't. I think that this is essentially his life. Oh, the greasy curl guy? Yeah. Greasy curls. There you go. Greasy curls. That's kind of funny. Yeah, dude, he's a douchebag. Like, he really is just a douchebag. Because, like, even if you agree with his politics, he's just a disagreeable ass. Like, the way he talks about Hassan, and then he tries to do this thing where he's just like, well, I don't really do that kind of stuff. Yeah, right. Okay. I don't really go after Hassan, but I feel like I've been pushed. Whatever. But I need my syrup. What's up, some dumb beats? What is up? I hope you're doing well. I know it's a little rough out there right now. With Tim Curry's death, and then we're still mourning Dolly. I mean, it hasn't even been a day, or hasn't even been a day. It's only been a day. A little too dramatic there, but he's a hack. He is. The thing is that, like, sucks about this kid is that, he strikes me as somebody that, like, through high school, he watched a lot of Destiny, and he strikes me as one of the COVID kids. Like, he's definitely missing something where it's like, dude, your personality is as prickly as they come. He has the most uninviting personality I think I've ever seen on a YouTube channel. And then I looked at his comments. Dude, his community, oh my god, dude. If you thought DGG was bad, we're gonna read some comments today. And I left a comment and I've already been getting attacked. So yeah, go figure. And the funniest part is they're just like, oh, this Hassan orbiter, blah blah blah, because I called him out. I was just like, hey, great job calling out Hassan. Way to, punch up and get those numbers going, Like, there's totally no reason you would do that. That's completely disingenuous. I totally called him out for trying to get mention, or like, because he did get mentioned on Hassan. Hassan covered him yesterday, apparently, and that was enough for him to be like, whoa! Okay, well, it looks like I'm gonna be able to do my show after all on this space tonight. Cool. Man, had I known that, I probably would have started at 4. Whoops. Yeah, my buddy just got a hold of me. Told me that he's not gonna be able to hang tonight, so I really don't get Destiny fans. I find him too boring to even be a locale. Yeah, I don't get it personally. I never really have. He's just, I get anxiety watching him because he is just, number one, I thought that like 1.25, yeah, obviously we go and do that stuff. But the fact that he talks that way, like, there's something about him that is just off-putting. I don't care if he's smarter than me. He's an asshole. The thing is, you can be smarter than me all day, but if you're just an asshole, then fuck you. Like, I hope that you get exactly what you deserve. You deserve to be treated as an ass. Because I have a feeling if I was in the green room with this kid, he would be exactly how he acts on camera. He really is just a miserable person. And that's what sucks, is like, when people meet him, like, his own family probably says, yeah, my kid, he does politics, he's a miserable asshole. They probably say that about him, and they ain't wrong. It's how that kid debates now. Well, it didn't really work on Tim Pool. He's delusional. He didn't look great. That Jubilee video, honestly, it kind of it didn't make Tim look good, obviously, and that's going on. Can I really say anything, more demeaning about Tim Pool than, just he does to, like, as far as, like, the person that is Tim Pool, like the public persona that is him, he puts it out there. So we know what we're getting with that. But this kid, like, just going at it, like, yelling at him, number one, which, that's not debate. Like, this fucking, like, you want to talk about woke scolding? Holy crap. Tim is his own worst enemy. The thing is, he will never admit that he's kind of dumb. Like, and when he does it disingenuously, because, like, me, I genuinely do not think that I'm smarter than, most people that I interact with, like, when I'm here, or unless it's obviously a right winger or something like that. That's what makes this a little bit more difficult, because it is like, oh shit, this is a shit, like, he's a shit lib. He's a shit lib. And he probably does know more about the actual poli-sci things of, like, the goings-on of politics and all that shit, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand where he's at. Doesn't make any sense. So you're just going to sit there dead center, pivoting right and using right-wing framing for everything, but then saying how you are, like, your main mission is to just be anti-Trump. We need to get Trump out of there. Okay. By what? Using their framing and making sure that the Democratic Socialists lose? The primary's over, you dipshit. So now it's like time to grow up, put on your big boy pants, and start voting for people that you may not always agree with. That's how this goes. We've had to do it a lot. See, on the other side of this, as somebody who's not centrist, I've had to eat a lot of shit just going and voting for a candidate that I knew was more corporate than I could care for. Hell, I even voted for somebody that, turned out to be kind of Zio. Yeah, it was kind of weird. You know, all of a sudden they started saying some weird shit about Israel, and now it turns out I'm not in his district anymore, so I can't really do much about it. So, but I just admit it. It's like, yeah. But it's not like he was running as a Zionist or anything like that. Honestly, this is before October 7th, so this wasn't part of the news. And, you know, I don't like the other part of that, the disingenuous shitheads that act like they were paying attention. Like, and I'm talking about the ones that definitely weren't. Yes, there were journalistic, like, people that were kind of paying attention, but you got some frauds out there that once October 7th happened, they pretended that they have been paying attention to this since 2003 or beyond even, and they haven't. They're just liars. Because I've literally gone through some of these people's social medias, and there's nothing, literally nothing until October 7th. So, yeah, it's bullshit. Ugh. I'm not even making this about the actual conflict or any of that. It's literally just the disingenuous, like, oh, well, it's always, like, again, it is an open-air prison. That's a fact. They have been living in an open-air prison for decades. That's a fact. But to act like you have been an advocate for Palestine before then, when nothing on your social media tells me otherwise, I'm calling bullshit. And this is not about, like, me calling out leftists or anything like that. This is literally about calling out just shitty fucking disingenuous people that would gladly throw me under the bus. So, yeah. I knew about Israel in 2005. My aunt lost her job. She worked at Caterpillar. Yeah, see, this is the bitch of it. I have known about it because like in 2003, when they were about to have a hot war with Hamas, we were praying that it would. We were literally praying that it would happen because I didn't understand that I was part of a Zionistic spirit, like literally a Zionist sect of Christianity. Like we were evangelical Zionists to the point where I've told you guys this so many times where, when we would pray, like we would not only pray for the actual war to happen, but we would just say, like, welcome us in as the children of God. And it wasn't like, you know, we were saying this about Jewish people. We were saying this about, like, no, you're our placeholders. So once, you know, Armageddon starts ramping up, we're just going to come in and take your land. I mean, wouldn't that be a bitch? Wouldn't that be the ultimate, like, hey, I mean, for how Israel's been acting, I'm not sure if I would actually be mad about that. It's like, hey, turnabout's fair play, bitch. Yeah, I was in a Christian cult, like an actual Christian cult. And they hit it pretty well. Like they would do this thing where they would make it seem like we were like the normie, like you're normal, you're an evangelical. Yeah. Oh. What's the end game of the evangelical Zionists? So it's actually pretty simple. Once the fires of battle happen on the field of Armageddon, that's the sign that Christians need to mobilize and go to their promised land. I'm not kidding, because they're the children of God. So where did you wait? How and where did you escape? What do you mean? I mean, it's not like I was part of... Dude, not all cults are like, you know, Wicker Man or fucking Midsummer. It was pretty easy. You left, but like the thing that sucks is I got excommunicated from my church. I got expelled from my school because they were literally tied together. they withheld my school records, which we did. We threatened them with a lawsuit, and then they gave me my school records. But yep, didn't even have to get a lawyer for that one. I would have been careful with the Kool-Aid. Yeah, right. Pep, why don't Christians just take the promised land right now? I don't know. I actually asked that. I remember asking that, why we weren't trying to go and take Israel, because, but the thing is, it's like it's kind of like a semantical reason, because technically the Jews are the ones that need to have it happen to them, I guess. Because, yeah, you mix in a little Old Testament with it, and that's how it goes, you know? But doesn't that kind of make sense, though? Like, the white Christian American, like, doesn't that just speak to how they are? Where it's just like, oh, yeah, no, like, totally. We're 1,000% okay with coming and occupying your space. We don't give a shit. But like I said, this being Israel, it's a little bit funny, not gonna lie. Yeah, Rapture comes after the war. Yeah, that's why I said that I wouldn't put it past, like, Peter Thiel to make a literal, like, drone Jesus, where they, like, make a chariot and they, like, do the thing where it's, like, it's totally a drone, but it looks convincing enough to where they're like, look, it's Jesus on his winged horse, look, there it is, and boom. Then they have the reason to just get rid of everybody. All right, give me a second. Got one of those. It's not even allergies today. It's because I ate some hot sauce before I started the show. Sorry, guys. I don't know why, but for some reason when I eat hot sauce, I get, like, a little drippy. Stalking and identity theft and whatnot. So what country did you manage to flee? The fuck are you talking about? A cult usually keeps its people from escaping or something. Why are you being, like, really weird about this? That's not how it goes. No, Scientology and certain cults do that, but some cults are not necessarily labeled cults. Like my cult, or like the one that I was technically part of, I don't think that it would be labeled as a cult, like through your, like, the American cult system. Any other country would look at it and be like, yep. Because the way that I view a cult is anybody that, like, they take a tenant, you have a power structure, and then you're told only through that power structure will you be truly found, and if you do not adhere to that power structure, then you will be lost. And once you're lost, there's just no saving you. And that's kind of where I think what the Christian thing is, because it's in the Bible that, like, technically you are supposed to kind of struggle with your, like, walk with God, that they kind of leave the door open a little bit. But if you get excommunicated the way I did, that means that you completely renounced your faith, which I did. And I did, you know what? I did it in a very public, almost prickish way, because I was just like, shit, dude, I can't stand this. I stood up and we had, like, a chapel. And when we had our chapel, we would have, like, testimonials and shit like that, and anybody could go up. So I decided to give a testimonial, and I started pointing out the hypocrisy of the church. I started pointing out how hypocritical they were with their views of Jesus as a person. I called out their politics, because I was just starting to get into the politics of stuff, and I'm just like, you guys don't make any sense. How are you supporting this war in Iraq and the death of all these people? I called them out for being modern-day crusaders, and yeah, I got swiftly pulled into my principal's office, and I was told that I was not going to be able to attend the rest of that day, and then the following day, they wanted my dad to come to the school, and we had to meet with, like, the elders of the church, and that's when they told me that I was expelled and excommunicated officially from the church. Even my dad, like, he was mad. He was more angry at them than he was at me. So that was cool. So yeah. Do they wait? They do that by threatening you with excommunication and severing social ties? Yeah, that's what they did. Ricky, I understand that you think you're an expert on this, or like the weird part is you're asking questions, but then giving like statements of how this should be or what you think it is. That's not how this goes. Like I said, maybe in Scientology, like if I was labeled an SP or some shit like that, but I'm not. You know, like that's not how my shit worked. Although, just because they didn't label me as a suppressive person, I was banned from the grounds. I was told that I was never going to be able to attend my my high school reunions, which I'll be honest, I'm a little fucking salty at. They had their 10-year just last year. Because I went to that school from fucking kindergarten all the way to 11th grade. So, are you team? I'm not a team, dude. I think that it's fucking disingenuous and stupid to ask anything like that. I'm team humanity, man. I think that we need to get over this shit and stop fucking doing that, because once you ascribe to that, you're too far gone. You're literally just willing to blanket fucking say half of the people that are part of this, or like even all the people, I just don't like them for reasons because I was told to. You brainwashed idiots. Like, seriously, if you think that way, you're a brainwashed moron. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you, but I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. Like, if you're that far gone, I got nothing for you, buddy. Dr. Zeta, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. If this is your first time, welcome to the show. Same with you, Mike, or Mikhail. Sorry. And also Ricky Hearn. Ricky Hearn, I know this is not your first time here, but yeah, welcome to the show anyway. Where did I ask for help from your clown ass? I don't know. This is your first communication, so I don't know why you would want help from me. I don't know what's going on there. My clown ass. Welcome to the show. Jesus Christ. They see somebody reading chat and they're just like, maybe he'll read my insult. Well, I did. You hate libs? Good. I'm not a lib. So, I don't know. But you hating libs is also fucking stupid and reductive. Like, why? Why do you hate, why? Because you were told that you need to? Because your weird masculinity thing doesn't, it doesn't allow you to feel too much empathy, so you're just like, these libs are stupid. I want to be the worst version of myself. I want to live with anger and hate and I want to blame everybody for my problems. Fucking weirdos. Like, seriously. And then you're sitting here thinking that, like, oh, I'm a big tough guy. I don't like libs. There's nothing less manly than your performative masculinity bullshit, which realistically just tells me it's like, oh, you've never done therapy. You probably are actually violent. Like, statistically, Trumpers, way more violent. Way more fucking violent. Just trust me on, like, go check the DV stats on that one by state and red areas. Have fun. Trump is Jesus? If you think that, okay. Well, you ain't going to heaven. That's called idolatry, my friend. Yeah, the book of Matthew really doesn't like that at all. Book of Mark actually has some laws of God right there. Actually, yeah. Anybody that puts a man over or says that, like, a mortal man is somehow God or Jesus, like, that's not how reincarnations don't work like that. Plus, you can't believe in reincarnation in the Bible at the same time. They actually are literally antithetical to each other. But I always love Americans when they do this. I love it. Dude, they conflate this shit that they learn, half learn, by the way, because a lot of these people, they might as well watch a PBS documentary, absorb maybe 4 minutes of it, and then fuck off. Because that's, like, seriously, what a waste of time to send all these people to school, and this is what you got. So, yeah. Have fun? Okay, I will. If that's your version of hell, then I will. I will have so much fun. In the beginning, was the orange, and the orange became flesh. And then, all of a sudden, I started turning a little white, and I said, hold on, where's the bronzer? Vertical stream tonight is already popping off. Yeah, no shit. Whatever. I'm alright with it. Alright, give me 1 second here. One more. Oh, fuck. There it is. That was the sneeze I was waiting for. Fucking it. I always hate when you have a sneeze that's like in the back of your sinuses. You're like, okay, this is going to happen. It might be violent. Dude, the worst is when you're driving. When you're driving and all of a sudden your nose, like your face just explodes like onto your freaking, on your steering wheel where it's just like, and snot! F, you gotta watch your local news. Why? What's going on? Oh yeah, Nepal. Yeah. So I actually am covering that. I'm covering the floods in Nepal, dude. Yeah, they're wild. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, there was a giant flash flood in Nepal, and it wiped out an entire village. And it's not like a small village. Like this was one of the. I hate to say this, but like it was a modern village, and like there were lots of like thousands of people might be gone. So, dude, I sneezed wearing a helmet. Okay, I have done that. So this is why I stopped wearing a full face mask in hockey. That was the plastic, because I did just that. I sneezed. It was a whole thing. I was in the middle of a play, and I was just like, I can't see. So, yeah, cages from then on. Yeah, it looked like a tsunami. I know, dude. Like, so, are they... Hold on. You know what? Since you brought that up. Here, what do I want to do then? So I'm going to bring this up. This is the first story we'll cover of the day. We'll come back to the chill vibes, because I don't necessarily want to go right to the news, but... This is breaking news, and I want to know more about this. I know literally nothing except for what I saw in the quick clip.
Yeah, and the breaking news, these devastating flash floods in Nepal near the Chinese border. As of now, we are told at least 31 people are dead, but that number is certain to rise. Hundreds of people, we are told, are missing, many likely tourists. There is this horrifying new video which illustrates why there is so much concern, why we can say with near certainty this death toll will go up. You just see this wall of water engulfing a town.
That's so much worse than I thought.
The force of that water just carrying so many of the buildings away, sweeping them off their foundations. We saw other images of buses just being tossed around like toy cars. Truly, truly devastating.
Oh my fucking God.
We've been working to get new information. There are other images coming in as well. Let's get right to CNN's Gage Golding for the latest on what you are seeing and learning about this.
Apparently I have a piece of dust in my nose. Something.
You know, I think you kind of hit the nail right on the head there. That video just kind of grossly underestimates the number of fatalities that we're seeing right now.
That's hundreds of people right there that are obviously not alive.
31 is the official count. And you look at this, I mean, just let's walk through this video. You see how tall that building is, and you see how small those people are. I mean, that building has to be, you know what, 5-6 stories tall, and the water flows over it like it's a small rock dam in a creek, if you will. I mean, it's hard to imagine. You know, I was in the Texas Hill Country for the floods there last year, and I remember looking up into these trees and seeing just, wow, the amount of water. This dwarfs that. And not to compare flood to flood, but the amount of water is hard to truly understand. And the numbers, again, they are going to change and unfortunately dramatically increase. But the number of people killed here, 31, there are hundreds missing, including around 400.
How often does this happen? I've never seen this in my life.
People. That's according to the Nepal Tourism Board.
So what happened? Where did this water come from? Was this a river that was on a mountain? Because, like, how the hell did that happen?
From 7 different nations, including the United States, the UK, South Africa, India, Australia, Netherlands. This is a very touristy town. As you can see those tour buses there being pushed away like toy cars. But there's one video I really want to show, and I
day after tomorrow.
want you to listen to it because it truly...
Yeah, but Christians are sitting here like, oh, Jesus, Trump is, you know what? Trump is Jesus. But this shit, dude, like I said, man, I said this yesterday. If I was still a Christian, I would 1000% think that this is the end times, that this is exactly what they like. This is the prophecy.
Encapsulates what happened.
But you know
in those
what? I've heard that since I was a little kid. My mom used to tell us that we were living through end times when I was a little kid with Bill Clinton and all that shit. And like, again, it's just, no, the world is a big place and a lot of fucked up things happen in the world. And we know more about it than we ever did before.
Moments. And I want you to notice that it's in this.
It is also like, things seem to be getting worse. I'm just going to say that much.
Video, it's nice out. You can see it's sunny. It seems like a beautiful day. And then all of a sudden, this wall of water comes out of nowhere. Please watch
Where did it come from?
I mean, the shrieks in their voice, you can only imagine what was going through their mind there. What you see in the beginning of the video is people just standing around, maybe hearing the water rushing down, but they weren't panicking in that moment yet. And then you saw the panic set.
The thing is, you're like, what's that noise?
And you saw people running. You saw what I could only imagine in the front of that bus was somebody driving as fast as they could to get to higher ground. We don't know the outcome of that video, but we do know some details like this, including around 60 workers, including almost a dozen from South Korea working on a hydro power plant there, a 20 megawatt plant that they were working on. They are still unaccounted for at this point. So this is all up and down this river gorge here. And you might be wondering, how does something like this happen? I mentioned that it seemed like a beautiful sun-shining day. And from that video, it truly does. It doesn't look like it was storming or anything like that. From what we have right now is it sounds like there was an earthquake registering about a 4.4 magnitude according to the USGS that triggered a landslide that lodged into a river, partially blocked
the river, and then it went.
It and shoved what can only be described as a wall of water down the river into these villages. And as you can see there, it's pretty much a gorge. There's nowhere for this water to go except taking everything with it. This is a situation that we're going to continue to follow as these numbers continue to come in. Current death toll 31 with hundreds missing, but I imagine the next time.
This is going to be thousands. 31. There's gonna be thousands of people confirmed dead from this.
When we talk, we'll have some updated.
The thing is, dude, with it being a mudslide, they probably are buried under all that
information. Unfortunately, probably not some great information.
No.
There.
No, and Gage, you showed while you were talking. We saw the.
No, guys, I'm not gonna play the news game. Like, I'm sorry, those people are gone. You don't survive that.
Those buses being swept away. They're their parking garage. This is an aerial shot right here, just pointing out. You can see where the floods came in, way overflowing the banks there. I don't know if there were other buildings there that simply got swept away, but you can see how many buildings the water just simply completely.
This was 5 hours ago.
Passed through as it swamped.
Hey, Jess.
That village. Obviously, the video of that school bus, those kids shrieking, is terrifying. The one hopeful thing there is that they seem to have made it through, right? Yeah. I mean, the video made it through and the water did not reach those kids, but it is horrifying to hear their shrieks there. Gage, we're going to let you dig for more videos.
No, I mean, that literally seems like it is in a Godzilla movie.
If you can reach people on the ground there, thank you so much for sharing
and then just, oh my God.
I want to bring in our meteorologist now, Derek Van Dam, and you'll have been listening
about, like,
to
what happened.
Our guest there explaining what he believes may have happened, and it's pretty frightening stuff when you consider what we have just seen. I mean, these images are absolutely devastating.
Becky, we're trying to understand it in real time, just like you, just like the individual, the authoritative individual you talked to from the Nepalese government a moment ago. But let's talk about what we know, and let's talk about the cascading hazards that this area is so prone to. We know that this is the monsoon season across Nepal. We know that August
but there was no rain.
Is in the height of summer. We've got thousands of glaciers that line the Himalayas across this area. And this part of the world, because of climate changes, warming, 2 times faster than the global average.
And then the earthquake, it knocked the glacier.
So what
Oh
that's
my
doing
God,
is
dude.
accelerating the loss of
Yeah. But let's build more data centers.
ice from these glaciers. And what that's doing is causing, or at least creating, these glacial lakes in some very precarious positions high into the mountains of the Himalayas. Now, this is kind of a pool of water, right?
You can't even swim. I'd be so screwed with the amount of force that ripped through that. There's no it doesn't matter.
Right, that is often formed by these melting glaciers, but it can also be filled
It's a
by
tourist spot.
the
Makes sense.
excessive
Yep.
rain from the monsoon season. So these cascading effects, not to mention an earthquake that was registered in and around the location of this disaster.
What war crime did Nepal commit to deserve this, though? I don't believe in God, so none.
Could have.
This is the bitch about not believe, or like this is. I'm gonna just say it. When you don't believe in God, then you just you recognize that things are kind of random. Yeah. But the thing that it really pisses me off is when you don't believe in God, you also look at climate and then you look at I don't worship science. I don't worship climate science. I just understand it. I understand how the fucking wind currents and our jet stream work and all that. And yeah, that's what this heat's doing. It's changing the jet streams. And then there's these little heat pockets it's going to cause exactly what these scientists were telling us 20 fucking years ago. 26 years ago. You guys remember when they were making fun of Al Gore? Yeah, you guys remember that? Yeah. Well, it turns out he wasn't fucking wrong.
To this river being dammed up, these glacial lake outbursts, this potential of a glacial lake outburst.
How far up your own ass do you need to be with your stupid politics to fucking ignore this?
Being exacerbated because of these culminating problems that puts
and then also be a disingenuous asshat and not admit that you're just doing it because it's you're uncomfortable. You don't want seriously are I'd rather hate trans people than recognize the science behind some shit. You're so fucked up if you are like that.
Million people at risk that live in the valleys below across this part.
Unless it happens to them, then they'll just be like, "Oh my God!" And then they'll literally. This is my favorite part about how disingenuous religious asshats are, is they will say that somehow, some way, they deserve this. They brought God's wrath. But if this happened in Texas, like it did with that church camp, that was just, God works in mysterious ways.
Nepal and China border. Now, ice loss here since the year 2000 has doubled. So that is one of the concerns here. So when we think about the earthquake that was located right about there, if there was any kind of debris, we're talking ice, we're talking about rock that's been destabilized from the
Natch, I hate to say this. I mean, you're the closest country.
Increase in temperatures, the fact that it's still monsoon season and it's likely rained across this area, that obviously destabilizes the ground, and any of that rock and debris falling into
what's up, man?
The rivers and the gorges below can easily dam up that water. So if we have a glacial lake outburst, if this is indeed the problem,
these same people jeered at a dead cop because he had a Middle Eastern sounding name.
Indeed the cause of this deadly flooding.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where Trump's guy had to literally be like, no, don't boo. What's wrong with you?
It was made worse by
I love when they fucking
melt-off
figure out how racist people are. They're like, oh, Jesus.
From glaciers, thanks to monsoon rains, the increased temperatures across the planet, this area warming twice as fast. These are the culminating factors that can lead to these disasters. We've seen it time and time again. A glacial lake outburst that happened last year, similar effects, devastating impacts. And it is very, very scary to not only see these videos, but to live at the base of these.
All right, here, let me get some more coverage of this, because this is crazy. Are you kidding me? Nobody else is covering this? Wait, Wisconsin Panda Express employee stands on fryer?
Videos, and
we'll cover this in a minute, but again, this is a little more serious than that. Give me one sec, guys. Wow, that's actually one of the best reports that we have so far. 6 hours, 1 hour. Oh, it's USA Today. I can't use that.
This is video from the Nepal-China border where a deadly flash flood engulfed the area. Initial report.
This is hard to watch.
Suggests this might have been caused by an earthquake triggering an avalanche, which unleashed this wall of water. At this point, 31 people are confirmed dead. Hundreds are missing. Authorities fear this could become a mass casualty event.
BBC has a recent video.
Joining us now is NBC News foreign correspondent Danielle Hamamdjian. What more have we learned about what happened here? The pictures are simply horrific.
Really
horrific, Christine, and this is obviously changing by the minute, but as you say, we are starting to see some of that surveillance video depending on where those cameras were placed.
Holy fucking shit.
The scale of this
oh my god
catastrophe is in
dude, that look at how okay, so this was on the this was technically like the water line here, like for the river. This is all the way to that tree line.
Incredible. At moments, you know, your eyes have sort of trouble processing.
Yeah, no, you really do, because you're watching these people run for their lives, and then it clicks in your head where you're like, "There's no way."
You're seeing deadly flash floods. You mentioned the death toll at 35. We are now hearing reports, according to local police, that may have jumped to 95, and that could easily rise even more. But we are
the saddest part is, dude, most climate scientists are trying to do this so we as humans can actually have a better experience, but you shitheads are just like, it's good, billionaires tell me what to think.
Still waiting to hear
fucking idiots
for official reports from police. Now, the initial report suggests that this was an earthquake in the area that could have triggered the avalanche and caused
biggest idiots on the planet right now.
Latest
dude
figures
are the ones that are just lockstep with these with the billionaire framing of everything. But we watched Fox News yesterday. You know why? You know exactly why they think this way. Look at how Jesse Waters, just fucking thinks for them.
I mentioned 95, 72.
Isn't that ridiculous, these libs? Isn't that ridiculous that these libs just want a world where we have water and food that we can trust? Isn't that ridiculous? And healthcare? What a bunch of fruitcakes.
These, they say, have been found. Hundreds of foreigners missing. This is a
where is this? This is in Nepal.
According to the tourism
this is on the border
industry.
of Nepal.
Among them, 12 UK nationals. British media here is reporting that among them is a minor, a 13-year-old who might have been part of a group of travelers, 105 Indians, Malaysians, South Africans, 1 Australian, and, Christine, at least 3 Americans. We're going to keep our eyes on that, of course. There is security footage showing on the Chinese side of the Tibet border, showing many people fleeing before a wall of rock, mud, and water just comes down, destroying buildings and vehicles that obviously has taken many lives. And no doubt, as I say, the death toll is expected to go up as we get more information. As I say, this is changing by the minute, very fluid, and a big challenge for rescue workers, Christine.
Yeah, and they must be just in the very early moments, Danielle, right, of the search and rescue here. I mean, and I see all these buses lined up in that video there. Was this a tourist area, do you know?
Yep.
It is a tourist area.
I have goosebumps right now. This is
at this border where travelers usually
oh my god, that is fucking
congregate.
Oh my god.
That's
an instant. That's an instant, dude. You understand that those people literally just they blacked out and just
it's going to be a very big challenge for rescue workers. This is happening in a mountainous area called Rasua.
Yeah, could you imagine? And it's like, could you just imagine your day? You got your travel itinerary. You got you're in the tour bus, and then just whoa.
Population 50,000 people.
Less than a second.
To officials, the river flowing downstream to India. So authorities have warned that a second flood now may occur since a blockage is still lodged upstream. Even Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, has urged all-out search efforts for the missing, as well as stronger monitoring and early warning systems to prevent secondary disasters.
Less than a second gone.
Police and military have also joined into the rescue efforts, according to the Prime Minister.
Yeah, but then you got guys up here that are just like, why is heat bad? Like I said, There's people here that are they're just going. Their cognitive dissonance is just so bad that they're just going to convince themselves these people deserve this.
Paul, we are, of course, keeping our eyes on the story. Again, 3 Americans at least among the hundreds of missing in this in these flash floods in Nepal, Christine.
All right, Danielle Hamamdin, thank you so much for that reporting.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Villages have been swept away in northern Nepal with
Oh yeah, that's way new. Yeah,
mudslides in neighboring
this is
Tibet.
definitely new
This
footage.
is a remote area, hard to reach. You're fighting
Holy
against
fuck.
the terrain and the weather.
Look how high that is.
Conditions.
They were talking about hearing a roaring sound. Within seconds, they saw tons of water gushing through the mountains.
Oh my God.
Officials are anticipating this as one of the worst disasters since the 2015 earthquake.
It's a race to save lives right now.
More than 500 people are missing,
500,
including tourists from 28 different countries.
At least.
And officials are bracing.
Like I said, this is going to be thousands. If that place is as big as I thought it was, like, oh no, like
large numbers of fatalities. We'll bring you up to date.
that seemed to be the like that's the weirdest part is that seemed to be the population, like one of the population centers, because it was essentially like, well, not beach land, but
know about the flash flooding.
Holy crap! By the way, I love you guys. Yeah, I love you guys. I love you guys too. Just a reminder.
But I want to first show you.
Dude,
the
life is
scale
short.
of
Might
the
as well
incident.
just tell you guys.
And a
Thank you.
warning, you may find some of these pictures distressing. This is CCTV footage that shows the moment people attempted to flee just seconds before this massive mudslide
this one's hard to watch.
crossing between Nepal and China. The clip has been edited. You will see.
Seeing that water go through that garage where somebody just ran into.
That we've added a white flash due to the distressing content.
Oh my God! There's nothing you could do. There's nothing you can do. There's nowhere you could go. There's literally nowhere you could go. There's nowhere.
See that people are running and then completely swept away.
Oh.
Here's more CCTV footage from the same border crossing. A massive wall of mud and water hits the site as those people flee. Well, let's bring in our global affairs reporter, Ambarasan Itharajan. Talk us through then what has unfolded.
Like shaking right now. That's crazy.
This morning, all of a sudden, people heard
Holy fuck! Like literally a second. When he said that all they heard was a roar.
ferocious sound, and
What
soon
the-
they saw huge
What
waves of
do you do? There's nothing you can do.
water, boulder, and mud slamming through the mountain valleys, sweeping away whatever was on its
This
way,
bridge.
destroying
Look at it
houses,
go.
power
Just
stations,
like it's
offices,
nothing.
whatever, bridges, and also several office
And now, do you understand how hard that makes the rescue effort right
blocks
there?
were taken away by this ferocious water. We still don't know how many.
No
people
one can
have
prepare
died,
for
how many
this.
People are
Yeah, except for the billionaires that know the shit was coming and they're buying bunkers. I don't know, guys.
still missing.
I don't know. I'm thinking, like, how stupid are we going to be if we just allow them to ruin this planet, run to their bunkers, and be okay?
Even though the government
And then repopulate the planet with their shitty fucking families?
is giving their
I don't know, guys. If you care about this planet's history or, like, future,
estimates, the figures are changing, but it is one of the worst disasters
Use your
Nepal has
imagination.
faced in recent decades.
Well, colleagues from the BBC's Nepali service have been speaking to people who witnessed the floods in one of the worst hit areas. Here's what they told us.
My family members were swept away by the flood in front of my eyes. My father, my mother, sister, and her kids are all swept away. They could not escape the flood. There was no chance at all.
Me and my mother were together while trying to escape. I saved my mother by pulling her hand. Before that, I had given my phone to my sister to remain safe and contact for help. But she is not reachable now. The mobile is switched off. I'm worried she must be swept away.
So what more do we know about how the disaster
that shock
unfolded? It's something our global environment correspondent, Navin Singh Khadka, has been looking into.
So this is the Pan-Himalayan region in Tibet as well as in Nepal, all these towering peaks. Scientists have been warning us that because of climate crisis, these mountains are losing ice fields, glaciers, and because of that, what happens is...
Yeah, but Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that because we're run by a fucking Republican government that is saying that this isn't even real.
All these
This wasn't
melting, they come
caused by
down
climate
as
change. That's not real.
Water floods and so on and so forth. The rivers and rivulets are the medium to bring
profits,
down all those boulders, all those sediment.
This shit
And
is going to
what
happen
happened
way
in
more.
this
Oh
particular case is
yeah,
something they're trying to find out.
dude.
There's not
Yeah, this is
definitive
just the
answer
start.
yet, but what my sources are telling is there might have been a case of a big ice chunk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what happened. It makes so much sense. You have a smaller earthquake by their own admission. It wasn't like they're just like, no, the earthquake didn't feel like it was that powerful. But if it knocked a glacier into, like, off the mountain into the water and then caused that rush,
destabilized, collapsed, and when it came down, the friction with the rocks generated massive volume of water, got down to the river.
You ever put too many ice cubes in a drink?
Blocked the river for some time, and then the river, it burst out, and that's why there was this massive flood downstream.
Yeah, the wall of water has smashed through buildings, and the authorities are confronting the scale of damage to critical infrastructure. Here's Panindra Dahal from BBC Nepali.
Officials are
I guess we're just doing news today.
anticipating this
I
as
started
one of the
early.
worst disaster since the 2015 earthquake. Critical infrastructures like hydropower stations have been washed away. Drinking water supply, road supply, they have all seen severe damages. Officials are now racing against time on how to manage the flood-affected victims. The government has said it will provide temporary accommodation, food and drinking water, among others.
Among those missing are hundreds of people from Nepal, Tibet and other places, including at least 100 from India, 47 from the United States, 33 from the United Kingdom, 17 from Malaysia and 4 from South Africa. Our South Asia correspondent Azadeh Moshiri explains how difficult it will be rescuing those trapped in the floods.
Pep, did you see Mockler got Kathy Griffin on his show?
A complicated rescue operation. That flash flood and mudslide has torn through villages, swept away bridges, and it's happened in a remote area. Rasua is in the northern part of Nepal. It's north of the capital, Kathmandu, and it's near the border with Tibet. And so it's difficult to get emergency teams in. So far,
no, that's why I was saying about the
helicopters
bridges
have been
too,
deployed, including military helicopters, but they're fighting not only against some of the terrain, but also the winds in that area as well. And on top of that, districts downstream
it's all mud now.
are
It's
being
all
warned
mud.
to stay on high alert, not only in Nepal, but also here in India.
August is peak season for both trekkers and Hindu pilgrims heading to the glacial lakes in this part of Nepal.
Yeah, also, like, dude, do you know how many, like, oh my God.
Panindra Dahal in Kathmandu has more on why so many tourists may have been in the area where the flooding occurred.
It is one of the main route that connects to Mansarovar, a popular tourist site in Tibet, and hundreds of people in this region choose this route to go to Tibet. And now another sacred Hindu festival of Janai Purnima was also approaching. Many local pilgrims also were traveling to Gosaikunda, one of the popular destinations. And it is also expected that some of the Indians or other Nepali nationals who were in the routes as religious pilgrims are among those missing.
The BBC's Ambarasa Nithirajan is still with us. It's not the first time, is it, that Nepal has experienced a disaster on this scale?
Nepal has seen floods, devastating floods before. In fact, in the same area last year, some flash flooding happened, killing more than 18 people. That was blamed on melting glacial area. Now, in 2015, the country also witnessed a huge earthquake. I was there a month after this earthquake happened, in which more than 9,000 people were killed, 22,000 injured. In 2008, there was another flooding in which millions were affected. But what difference this time is people had no chance or little chance to escape when this flash flood came, sweeping away all their homes and offices and bridges.
We need to be careful with the numbers and what we're reporting at the moment, because I get a sense, Ambarasan, that things might get worse. Is there any indication?
It's almost irresponsible, like, to start reporting numbers
of how bad this could be.
Now, the officials are estimating what could be the damages in several villages. In fact, the The task is so enormous.
Oh my God! So we're just seeing the one?
Several villages, several townships.
Oh my God!
We're talking about hundreds of tourists, including foreigners. Now, the whole issue is about the infrastructure damage
Came
to
in too fast to get
the
away.
country. Now,
Yeah.
already they're estimating more than $100 million worth of damage. But the problem is people had no time to escape or leave their homes because it came all of a sudden. So the numbers can increase dramatically in the coming days.
Amber Assam, thank you very much.
Those
for
people
that.
right there are lucky to be alive.
That is all you need to know.
If they were
for the time
anywhere
being
near
about the
that.
devastating and deadly flash flooding on the Nepal.
Near lunar eclipse coming. Oh yeah, it's Thursday, isn't it?
This is the Global News Podcast from the BBC World Service. Hi, I'm Anka Desai, and on Wednesday, the 26th of August, these are our main stories.
Let's bring you right up to date with what is happening in Nepal and Tibet. Rescue teams are responding now to a massive flash flood in northern Nepal. It has swept away entire villages. At least 19 people are confirmed to have died, according to police. There are fears the number of casualties could rise. The Nepal Tourism Board is working to account for hundreds of travellers, they say, in the area. They are now saying over 380 travellers are currently missing, and most of them are foreigners. These pictures are from northern Nepal, where several people have been confirmed dead. Chinese state media we've been hearing from as well. They are reporting major casualties in Tibet too. And Nepal's foreign minister says preliminary information suggests an earthquake may have triggered an avalanche, then a subsequent flash flood, although this has not yet been verified. Well, let's bring you up to date. We can take you straight to our South Asia correspondent, Azadeh Mashiri, who joins us now from Delhi. Azadeh, firstly, what are you hearing both from the Nepalese authorities and also from the Chinese in Tibet?
We've been focusing on discussions with the Nepalese authorities, and they're saying that it's a race to save lives right now before night falls. And so helicopters have been deployed, including military helicopters. This is a remote area, hard to reach. It's in Rasua, which is north of Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, and near the border with Tibet, as you mentioned. And so the true scale of the disaster, of the casualties, that's something we may not fully know until tomorrow or in the next few days, given how hard it is to reach there. Police have said they're struggling to reach dozens of their own officers, their team, and sadly, Nepal in this region is no stranger to deadly floods like these. Last year, a glacier burst on the Chinese side and 18 people died then. But in this case, officials fear that the casualties could be higher. And of course, there is that warning from Nepal's tourism board of hundreds of travelers that are currently unaccounted for, including more than 100 people from India and 12 from the United Kingdom.
And Azadeh, is it thought, or do we understand that it was an earthquake that then triggered this avalanche?
That's what they believe. They're still investigating this, so they have kept qualifying that. Initially, they thought that perhaps it was excessive snow melting into the Botekosi River, which flows from Tibet into Nepal. But now there has been this statement in Parliament that they believe an early morning earthquake triggered an avalanche, which in turn may have caused this flash flood. But they're still investigating the cause. And of course, the focus right now is obviously on search and rescue operations.
And how well equipped are the Nepalese, Azadeh, to deal with a disaster of this kind of scale? I mean, you mentioned it's getting dark and it's a bit of a race in terms of the time, but what about setting up even makeshift hospitals or dealing with people who may have been injured?
Well, districts downstreams have been put on high alert because the situation is still changing and evolving. There are many people in this area that will be living near riverbeds, and so it doesn't matter how prepared or equipped you are, you're still at risk, and so they're telling people to take precautions. They do have at least 17 helicopters that have been deployed, but again, you're fighting against the terrain and the weather conditions. The wind has meant that it's also very difficult for these helicopters to reach those who are most in need, and there is also significant infrastructure that is said to have been damaged. They believe hydropower stations may have been damaged. Workers may have been working there as well. There are a lot of trucks traveling goods that pass through the area that have drivers. Those are people who are unaccounted for. And so again, the scale of this is unknown right now, and we may know more in the coming hours or even days.
Azadeh, thank you so much. Azadeh Mashiri joining us there, our South Asia correspondent. We have some footage to show you. Now, it is quite distressing. I haven't yet seen it myself, but I just need to tell you that we understand some of this is distressing. It is CCTV footage from the region, and what you will see here is the moment that people attempted to flee seconds before that devastating mudslide engulfed the border crossing between China and Nepal. As you can see, there are so many people madly running away. They're desperate to try and escape before this completely gets smashed away.
It got dark in this part of the world about 6 hours ago. Oh my God, so the search and rescues, that's right, it's happening at night.
But that just gives you a
Holy
sense
shit.
of how sudden it was for people there. Apparently there was no sense of warning, and you can just see.
The thing is, they might not even find them because the way that this happened was so much earth and just like it's all mud now. Like, dude, some of these people are probably forever buried.
How devastating.
I am having a hard time like actually processing this in a way that's
that moment
not freaking me out a little bit.
From that CCTV footage. Let's take you live to Nepal, to Kathmandu, to the capital, to the BBC's Panindra Dahal, who is there. That is pretty distressing, that footage that we've just seen. What sort of stories are starting to emerge from this area, Panindra?
Details are yet to emerge of the scale of damage, but officials are anticipating this as one of the worst disasters since the 2015 earthquake. Several districts along the downstream from the Nepal-Tibet border have been impacted, and settlements just close to the Botekoshi riverbed, they have been washed away. Police officials have confirmed they have recovered 19 dead bodies, but we are hearing from different districts that people are registering complaints of their relatives missing in those areas. And
So I'm guessing that this was down the river and like the main hit was like way up there,
critical
right?
infrastructures like hydropower stations have been
I'm sure there's
washed
more
away.
recent coverage. I'm
Several,
looking, man.
trucks
I'm
that
trying.
carried cargo from Tibet through that route have been washed away, and drinking water supply, road supply, they have all seen severe damages. Officials are now racing against time on how to manage the flood-affected victims. The government has said it will provide temporary accommodation, food and drinking water, among others. And they have said that they are making a blueprint on how to address communities that are impacted by the flood.
And Panindra, what is the latest from the tourism authorities about
I found some
who
stuff.
might be missing, the foreign nationals as well? I mean, I appreciate you've just been saying many local people reporting concerns about their loved ones that they haven't been able to contact. But what about the tourists?
Dude, I mean, if,
there are actually two kinds of pilgrims who are
those buses got wiped out, dude.
missing. Firstly, it is one of the main route that connects to Mansarovar, a popular tourist site in Tibet, and hundreds of people in this region choose this route to go to Tibet.
Is there a comparable disaster in this area?
And now another sacred Hindu
Not one that happened this quickly.
festival of Janai Purnima.
Yes, they
was
have
also
flooding, but
approaching,
nothing in comparison,
falls
like where it
this
just.
week on Friday.
I mean,
and,
I think that we can all agree. What's terrifying about this is how fast that happened.
many local pilgrims
Hey,
also
Anna.
were
What's up?
traveling to Gosaikunda,
We're
one of the popular destinations.
Covering this just absolute catastrophe that just happened in Nepal.
And it is also expected that some of the Indians or other Nepali nationals who were along those in the
I mean, it was immediate.
routes, as religious pilgrims are among those missing. Officials have so far not been able to categorically tell about the status of rescue operations regarding those personnel.
So just tell us what we do know about the rescue operation at the moment and what the government is able to do, given the terrain is so difficult there as well, the damage that's been done to the infrastructure. And as Azadeh was just telling us, the weather's not good either.
Yeah, in the early morning, officials were saying that it was even difficult for them to find a place to land helicopters. But now...
flooding comes quick and destroys everything.
Managed, and they have said like they have rescued around 88
it's still flowing too
from different sites and brought few dozens to Kathmandu for medical treatment. Hundreds of people are still stranded. I just spoke with the spokesperson of the Nepal Army. He said military helicopters were dispatched to rescue nearly 115 stranded persons on a single village in Rasua district. Officials have urged private airline operators to allow the use of even private helicopters because they want to mobilize everything at the disposal of Nepal to conduct this rescue and relief operations.
I would hope so.
Officials are saying that nearly...
It's still 5 to 6 hours until daylight.
1.5 dozen helicopters have been mobilized for rescue efforts, and apart from that...
and obviously there's no power in this area.
Soldiers
all their power stations got wiped out.
Have also been dispatched from ground.
Great. This just in: 30,000 pounds of raw beef from Argentina that had been sent here because of Trump's whole thing has already been recalled.
In the impacted areas.
Paninder, very good to get that update from you.
At what point are we going to kind of, do something about this? I don't think that there is like pressuring Trump to leave office, but pressuring people like RFK to resign, that's a different story.
It's devastating what you're describing and what appears to be emerging in Nepal. Thank you so much.
This is insane, dude. What we're allowing these fucks to do to our food supply. And I'm sorry, if you're a Republican, I'm back at my COVID days where I'm like, I'm hoping you're the ones getting that cyclospora.
Throughout the day, of course.
You kind of deserve it at this fucking point. Get what you vote for.
Let's bring in our global environment correspondent, Nadan Singh Khadka, who knows this area incredibly well. And can I start with that? Just describe to us the terrain and this part of Nepal and Tibet that we're talking about.
So you see, this is like, imagine Tibet, the plateau, and the Himalayas, from where all these rivers snake through and then flow down into Nepal. And mind you, Nepal is where almost 60% of the Ganges, the Ganga River catchment, comes from during dry season. So imagine so many rivers. So this particular river we're talking about is also one of those tributaries, ultimately going down to the Ganges. Now, the thing is, it's not plain land. Ganges is in a plain land. This is all difficult terrain.
Recalled already? Holy crap.
Mountains, towering mountains, rocks,
who could have seen that
and
coming?
Boulders and whatnot. And then now what we're seeing is all these different kind of disturbances. Again, nobody is going to tell us what actually happened. I'm still trying to find out. There are conflicting claims. Xinhua, the Chinese news agency, has called it mudslide. Now that is slightly, we are still wondering what that means. But there are conflicting claims about what actually happened.
I was about to say.
Can I just get you to back?
So there's already conflicting information. One saying a mudslide, one saying a glacial mudslide, like a glacier-caused mudslide. I mean, let's put it this way. Whoever has moneyed interest studying it and they ignore the glacier part, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is for a fucking reason.
Back up on that.
They cannot just admit that, climate change actually might be having an impact, because if they do, that impacts their profits. Guys, just remember, you probably are likely you're statistically more likely to lose somebody that you love to these fuckers' greed, just because of, like I said, them cutting the FDA, not believing climate change, any of that shit. And I'm telling you, also you're for any of my people out there that are parents, I thought we all cared about leaving a better world. My parents lied. My parents were boomers. My dad, and the way that he actually did vote before he quit voting, yeah, I hate to say it, it did contribute to the enshittification of this world that we live in, because a lot of it is short-sighted fucking me mentality.
Why will there be these conflicting claims? Why might we not ever know what's actually happened here now?
I mean, it is crazy. It's crazy to see this when there's not a fucking, like, I can't say not a cloud in the sky, but look.
First of all, it's a very difficult terrain.
Sunny out. What is?
No, it's very remote.
Not a single person was just like, hey, we might have to watch out.
All the mountains, towering mountains. So, it's very
Not all boomers are the same. I know. I try not to generalize too much.
to assess because there are no boots on the ground.
I know.
And B, what scientists, glaciologists, hydrologists.
It just sucks because it's kind of the way that, like, me as a millennial, I have to admit the cringe, like, shit from my generation.
Are telling me because of
That's the bigger thing is, like, no one's a monolith. And honestly, like, the right reaction to that is, yeah, we kind of suck.
Soon the clouds are hovering around, so the satellite.
Because it's true. Like, statistically, like, yeah, a lot. Yeah. Boomers and, like, the way that they voted, the Reagan shit, all of it. Like, unfortunately,
can't penetrate.
they can be blamed on a lot of this, at least the policies. But this is where I say I try not to monolith everybody. Like, I have had this problem where people from other countries have been like, oh, well, you're responsible for this because you're American. It's just like, I didn't vote for Trump. It's just like, yeah, well, you're still from the country. It's like, okay.
And sure, that is there. But even then,
$100 cancer. It's literally a daily goal, you fucking idiot.
those glaciologists are telling me that
Truth over faith.
it might be a case where rocks and ice avalanches went down, blocked the river, and that river got impounded, and then there was almost 50 meters of dam, that got built. That was burst out. Now, again, that is just a theory. We still need to wait.
It explains why we all feel the loss.
It could be a case of Glacier Lake outburst flood. Last year, just quickly, around the same place, glacial lakes were involved. But the question is, we have no idea. The question, the most important question now is this being monitored? Is this being communicated? That is the big question now. Whenever things like this happen, these are the questions that come up.
Hey, I'm a cool boomer. F Trump and his cabal.
Last year, we should remind.
As I said, guys.
And our viewers, 18.
When it comes to it, unfortunately, it's just something that we all have to reconcile with is that, yes, like we try our best, but I'm going to have to also say, yeah, my generation is likely to also be a failure. My generation, you know what? I'm going to admit something, and this is going to be rich because I don't have kids, but I'm going to just say it. My generation are worse parents. They are. They really, like, because emotionally, not necessarily. Like, they're way more open to saying, I love you and actually giving, but they're also more likely to let their children do whatever the fuck they want. And they're the ones like that soft parenting, like that shit failed. Because there's a bunch of, like, I have seen some of these, like, I've actually seen this. I saw one of my friends had their kid at 17, right? He is now 22 years old. He has the worst anger issues I've ever seen. And the thing is, he used to be one of those kids that used to hit people all the time. His mom never did anything about it. That's the problem.
18 people died after a glacier burst on the Chinese side of the border, right?
See too much of that in my own fucking generation, so I'm going to call it out. Yeah, we have also failed our children. We've also failed our children on the fact that we have not done more to stop this shit.
That's what happened.
We're leaving when I ship off, likely this world will be worse off than when I got here. Isn't that that's kind of the opposite of what we would like to do, right?
So how much communication is there going to be right now between the Nepali government and officials and the Chinese?
So what's up, Rev?
Now, when I'm speaking to officials and even, independent authorities, they are saying that they are not getting anything as such from the Chinese side, just very, very informally. And they are saying that it could be the case of ice and rock avalanche. It could be. Again, it's
it could be
very difficult to get. Like I said, the Chinese news agency has.
This guy doesn't want to fucking say that because what? You work for a fucking government-run news agency. Why in the fuck are you tiptoeing this?
Mudslide and full stop. What that means, again, we are scratching our head what that means. But then again, in the wake of climate change, all this accelerated melting of glaciers, mountains becoming weak and unstable, what the mountains unleash down there, This is becoming very important. Why? And not to forget quickly again, earthquake.
I feel like the Civil War and World War II are still going on. Nazis and the slavers
Some
are still
are also
fighting.
associating this with an earthquake. We don't know for sure if it
That's not true.
was earthquake, but there was an earthquake around 4.5.
That's ignoring that everything did get actually better. See, I hate that fucking mentality of ignoring how actually good things were and how much progress we did make. Dude, gays can get married. Like, I got to watch that happen in my fucking lifetime, but we also fucked that up because we might be going, the other way.
Trigger, is it not? We yet to know.
And just briefly, how has the monsoon been this year as well?
Well, monsoon has, to be honest, in some places it has been devastating, in some not. El Nino has yet to, we are seeing that El Nino, because of El Nino, it's been less strong, less, deficit rainfall in some places. But then again, like, floods and landslides are regular phenomena. It's not been that devastating, but this one, what's happened, is definitely a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Nevin.
Not saying the good didn't happen, but the wars continue.
Context is so interesting and so important.
I don't necessarily agree.
I know you're making more calls and we're trying to establish exactly what has happened. Stay with us. We're going to bring you more on this story, of course, around the world and across the UK. This is BBC.
Because after post-World War II, the thing is, this is where I keep saying that it's like, yeah, humanity kind of sucks there, guys. This is why I keep telling everybody, this like whole utopian idea, probably not going to happen because we got a lot of shitheads out there. A lot of them. And a lot of them cannot be saved. I'm sorry. It's just a fucking fact. Some people just suck that much. I know, but this is the thing. You got to accept that some people cannot be saved. Some people are just that bad. Because that's another thing I see too much of is like this weird Munchausen syndrome bullshit with like liberals where they're just like, we can fix them. And I say liberals specifically. They're the ones that still cater to like the Republican base where they're like, oh, we can fix them. We can save them. Look at Haiti. Oh, yeah, I know. I don't know. Like, I have this really weird, like, it's going to sound shitty, but like Gary, Indiana, for instance. Gary, Indiana still has no power. People are fucking freaking out. But then it came to my attention that this last election, Gary, Indiana, had 8,500 people show up when they have a population of over 40,000. Maybe they need to show the fuck up. Wake up, guys. You do understand that that was the whole project, like, and this isn't Project 2025 or anything. This was just disenfranchised. Like, that was the whole goal in the 60s and 70s was to get black people so disenfranchised with voting that they don't even participate. That is why we're seeing shit like Gary happen. And it's not just black people. I'm not trying to overgeneralize, but Gary being a predominantly black city. But this goes for everybody. I don't care what your race or creed is. Go and fucking vote. Seriously. And the other thing is, too, the whole both sides are the same coin. Yeah, that's a psyop. Like, honestly, if that was true, then we would not vote. We would just have just an oligarchy or like this performative bullshit. Like, no, we can still vote for the fucking people in our local governments to make these decisions and push back. But no, everybody they would rather be lazy about their shit, rather throw their hands up and just go, I don't care. Life's too hard as it is. I just gotta work. All right. So holy shit. We didn't see that bridge get wiped out. Saw it go under. Oh my god. That's. know what's fucked up? The Midas Touch would literally say that they were cheering that. That was them, being lamentful, but sorry. This is me also calling out the disingenuous fucking framing of all like the bullshit coverage of Trump. And like I'm saying bullshit coverage because that's what Midas Touch does. Like yesterday, we saw that where he's like, the merciless boos, play the clip. Nobody was booing. But you hear that, and then he'd probably just be like, they were cheering on the bridge, the bridge collapse. Like, fuck. That was more of a, again, just a, to rip Midas Touch. Oh my God! Did you see that van just speed across the bridge? Because we know this bridge gets hit.
At 7:15, we ain't got no food, no electricity.
I paid $2,500 for power. I'm still out of power 2 weeks later.
NIPSCO full of shit. They ain't did nothing for us.
I'm in Gary, Indiana, a majority black city where tens of thousands of people have been without power for 2 weeks following severe storms. And
I already know what kind of flack I'm going to take for saying what I said, but I said it.
Never seen a storm so.
Get out and fucking vote, guys. NIPSCO, yeah. If you had a government that actually cared about this shit, instead of just fucking always just being like, whatever. We live in a blue area, and then it turns out that no, you don't. You live in a pretty red area.
Devastating in my entire.
This is what happens when you get a Republican mayor that doesn't give an actual shit about where you live or the people that live there.
Residents in the region have been outraged with their power company, NIPSCO, Indiana's second largest utility power company that services 1.4 million Hoosiers.
After about day 3, a lot of us were getting worried. Okay, we pay our money, we pay our utility bills, but we have not heard from NIPSCO.
While infrastructure is being developed.
Yes, they do, actually. They vote for the infrastructure projects that would have made it so they would be able to have power, or they would have a system where they would be able to get more power to them quicker.
Across the state.
Because the thing that really is shitty about this is just how blatant the fucking racism is NIPSCO has been focusing on all these white areas and literally telling everybody in Gary, we'll get to it later.
To support its 125 data centers, somehow this working class community is struggling to get the basic.
Only conservatives use both sides as an excuse. Yeah, because they don't have anything to go on right now because they literally know that they are being their form of governance is failing. They run all 3 fucking branches and the judiciary, that fucking word. Still everything sucks. Everything's getting worse.
Utilities they need restored while having to pay higher rates than ever.
We probably saw an increase of, I want to say between 30 and 50% increase in our utility bills.
2 years ago, Blackstone, a private equity firm, bought a nearly 20% equity stake in NIPSCO, and rates have skyrocketed since.
My first NIPSCO bill was $450. My last NIPSCO bill was $2,500. NIPSCO is almost like the price of our rent. They're being very greedy, and our prices are very high, and we're not getting much service.
Why haven't we been made a priority to get our power back? Personally, I think data centers have been made the priority.
Gary is a working class city where the average income is less than $40,000.
Yeah, there's a data center not even a few miles away from Gary, already up and running.
$40,000, and it's located in the middle of Data Center Alley. NIPSCO's parent company, NiSource, is creating a data center-only utility and throwing resources there. Meanwhile, the residents of Gary have been suffering.
In terms of rural areas that house a large black population, a large brown population, making sure that they have power is not exactly high on the list of priorities.
A community that lacks resources, that is a food desert at times, that lacks in the educational system, that lacks resources from government. Why isn't this getting the attention that it truly needs?
Because, short answer, racism.
My indie comic pick of the week.
All right, there we go. Now, well, this is going to be weird, so I'm going to have to do a pivot here. Give me one sec. Because I'm going to look for some more up-to-date news about what's going on in Nepal as far as like the working in the dark here. Nepal rescue. Latest. All right, can U.S. please send emergency rescue teams to Nepal and Nepal? There are also three Americans. Oh, wow, you got people out here just like begging people for help. Well done to all the search and rescue dogs working in Nepal right now. I do. Good boys and girls. Rescue starts in Nepal on Everest. Wait. Everest. Oh, somebody's literally on Everest saying our thoughts are with those trapped in Nepal right now. Indian relief to Nepal is going to... Wait, all right. So apparently India is taking charge of the rescue operations, it seems like. Just due to proximity, China's going to be sending... Okay, China's also sending in a whole bunch of people. Elon Musk completely silent. Go figure. Hey, Bandit, what's up, dude? Let's do this. That's fine. Why did that have to be 1 hour ago?
The details are just coming into us, but...
Okay. No! All you can do is you can just There's people in that river? Yeah, I know. This is the rescue effort. No! Yeah, one more time. This is crazy, guys. Yeah, I mean, just look at the... Oh my God. Mom! Fuck. Okay. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, seeing that view, holy fuck. Seeing that guy, oh my God, dude. Like I said, there's just nothing you can do. There's literally nothing they could do. Yeah, it's always the people who have nothing. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the plan. I'm telling you guys, like, you know that shadow cabal bullshit that, you know, I've said this so many times on the show, it's almost boring, but yeah. Fucking billionaire shadow cabal. Minus the shadow. They're out there doing it. Fucking, how do you look at Jared Kushner and just go, yeah, he's totally not part of that fucking, the elites that everybody was talking, like, seriously, fucking A. This is why, honest to God, I can't stand Trumpers, is because they just can't admit, it's like, yeah, you elected that. You did that. Like, there's a reason that they used you, because you're fucking dumb. Potential for HARP? That's not how this works. Jesus Christ. What is it about humanity where all of a sudden we see things that are obvious? A glacier fell into a fucking... Like I said, the science experiment here is go fill your glass up with, like, all the way to the tippy top. Like, go, please. I want you guys to do this. Because I want you to understand the basic science behind this. Go get an ice cube, put that in that glass of water. Will that overflow that water? Because that's what fucking happened. So. The USA, Trump, the evil clown, is not responding to disasters in our country. FEMA is federal fuckery now. Jess, there's nothing fucking funny about this. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, Jess, I think he was saying LOL to something I was saying. Yeah, because Robert's, yeah, he's cool. Yeah, Harp can't do shit. No, it can't. No, even fucking Jesse Ventura, like, walked that one back where he's just like, yeah, I went to the HARP station and then I realized that atomization is not a thing with weather. And I kind of figured out that these particles that they were shooting up there, it was kind of there was a theory of the Anunnaki putting some gold particles out into the air, and that some people used that and created a new conspiracy theory that I just decided to pick up because I was doing a show called Conspiracy Theory. Did y'all know that I did that? Did y'all know that it was on True TV? Pep, now my desk is all wet, man. Sorry. Well, thank you for attending Pep Science, but yeah, I know. No, this is what this is what always drives me nuts about people are when they just, it can never just be what it is. It always has to be a grand conspiracy theory. It always has to be some, like, they have to be able to put it together differently than everybody else, because you know what? It makes my life a little bit more fun to live if I know more than the other person. Like that one dipshit that's just like, oh, I'm smarter than you because I voted for Trump. Even though he's probably doing worse. That's my favorite part, is how many liars are out there that are convincing themselves that things are better, but they're not. If anything, they're almost the exact same, or they are paying more at the pump and losing money. But they just won't admit it. Or if they do, they'll just say, well, it's Biden's economy, you know? We're still getting out of Biden's economy. I hate how dumb they are, and I just hate how easy it is to propagandize to them, and how fucking easy, like, how they just parrot it immediately. And then we're the one, like, and this is, again, guys, it's the whole fucking thing. It's to wear you out. It's to finally get you to go, like, fuck you. I don't even need to listen to it. Like, yeah. That's literally what it is. And then they're just like, oh, these liberals won't even fucking talk to us. Why would you be doing, okay. How? What's going great for you? Are your taxes lower? Like, actually lower? Because they're not. You lost a lot of that money when you were paying for the tariffs that he's instituted. Everything that you've had to buy, whether it be lumber, tires, groceries, it's all higher. Groceries are at 5%. Inflation is steady right now at 4.7%. We're getting close to that fucking 5.0 again, by the way. But no, 21% under Biden. Never happened. It capped out at 9. Ended at 2.7. But yeah. You know, you guys can look at reality and just go, yeah. That's my favorite part about Trumpers, is they have to lie, like, all the fucking time. So, you make more money. Oh, why is that, though? What do you do? Hey, Jimbo, what do you do? Since you're, like, if you're gonna lie, like, you're a nameless, faceless idiot on the internet. You might as well just tell me exactly what you do and how much money you make. Otherwise, I'll just fucking ban you for being a liar, because you're just a lying sack of shit otherwise. And if you are doing that, well, then, you know what? $100 right now. If you can hit my goal right now and prove that you're doing that much better, all right, I'll shut the fuck up. And you can go to your little fucking red-hatted friends and go like, I shut up a troll liberal or a troll leftist online. But you're not going to. Because you don't actually make that money because you're a lying sack of shit. That's how that goes. It's the same thing with all of you people. Bunch of... it's actually genuinely sad that you have to have this like daddy situation and like have the idol of Trump. Like, do you understand how just odd that is that you have to stand up for him when it's not going well for the rest of America? Like, yeah, look at his polls and tell me that everything are great. Oh, polls lie. Okay. Because you're doing well? Oh, because you can literally put your money where your mouth is. It's also, that's why it's called fuck you money. But I don't think you have fuck you money. I think you're a liar. Plain and simple. Because most of you guys do lie. You guys don't even fucking, like, this is the thing. You won't even say what you do. But you're just like, I make more under Trump, which, funny enough, was probably because of a Biden-era policy that made you get paid a little bit more. But yeah, you make more because Trump said so. What executive order made you make more? Please, explain. LARPing as an elite? Yeah, dude. Nah. This guy doesn't make money. You're a machinist? Oh! But everything that you work with and like... So your customers are the ones that are paying more, for sure. If you're a machinist, there's guaranteed... Like, no matter what, whether it be the equipment, no matter if you're like a machinist with fucking aluminum or any of this shit, you or your company is paying more under the Trump tariffs. And also, you're part of a union. So guess what Biden did? Biden strengthened the unions. Trump wants to demolish them. But yeah, keep telling me how great Trump is. Yeah, how's the aluminum market? Jimbo he just literally blamed Biden for getting laid off. This guy's a fucking idiot. God, can I use the R word on this one? Like, what do you guys think? Is he worth it? You're definitely not union. Yeah, that tracks. Aluminum 50% from Canada. Yeah, steel and aluminum are going to be so cheap, right, liar? He is. He's a liar. I don't actually think he's making more. I think that he's just barely scraping by. I mean, if he's the working man, then he understands how much he's paying more at the pump. He knows how much more he's paying at the grocery store. He's just a liar. That's what they do, dude. They lie to themselves until their daddy tells them what to say. Oh, it's Biden's fault. Biden's fault. Well, let's see. How did Biden contribute to you getting laid off as a machinist? R-word worthy, in my opinion. Yeah, you're a retard. No, he's not a Republican. He's a retard. And honestly, it's most of them are. Because most of them are liars like this. Like I said, guys, like, when you have somebody in your life like this, just know. Like, I do, actually. Like, I got to talk to a buddy today, and he kind of reminded me where I'm just like, oh, yeah. Wow. Sometimes there is no saving these people. Local number? Oh, he's not part of a union. He just said that he's not part of a union. Bro, crash out harder? Yes. I'm watching you crash out in my chat, though. It's fun, because you can't prove that you actually do make more money. You don't have fuck you money. You're sitting there in your fucking trailer with a broken down fucking Ford Ranger going, I'm a machinist. I make more money. This is my favorite part about doing this, is just how it's like, okay, cool. So you can't prove that you actually make more money. Like I said, you do not have fuck you money. My favorite ones are the ones that do. I've had this, like, Jimbo, believe it or not, this has worked. Where I had a Republican literally come out and donate like close to $500 to my fucking stream just to tell me to fuck off. That's fuck you money. That's something you don't have. That's somebody that you wish you could be. But keep being a mediocre white dude. It's okay. Hey, I'm a mediocre white man myself. I can smell my own. Oh. Yep, that's FU money. Oh yeah, literally. Literally, like the guy that like donated $500 just to tell me like to fuck off and then also told me to have a good day. That was pretty funny. Jimbo got himself fired 1000%. 1000%. What was it? Was it a racist comment or a sexist comment? Or it was wait a minute. He probably had an HR complaint. Let me guess. You're a machinist, so it was probably one of the girls up front. Oh man, you shot your shot at the copier and you realized, yeah, we know how it goes. Why would I give an F about what you believe? Oh, I mean, because realistically, it's not just me. I got at least 20 people here that get to see how much of a loser you are, so that's fun. Cool, Jimbo. But do you think making up BS will affect my life in any way, bro? It seems like it already has. You're still here. You seem pretty upset. I don't know. We used to say triggered, but that kind of lost its luster. But I'll bring it back. You're triggered. Broke Jim. Broke Jim. I mean, I fucking nailed it, dude. This guy lives he's either got, I don't think he can even afford his own trailer. That's the thing. I bet that he is paying rent and he's got a shitty apartment. Are you divorced? Yeah, you strike me as a divorcee. You're probably paying child support too. I don't know. You really do. Like, I feel like you run the gamut on this one. Jim Dandy is the type of, that is bathroom maxing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. This is cringe from both sides. Holy shit, grown-ass men, by the way. See ya. I'm having a good time. This is one of my favorite parts about doing this, is when, like, this is also proof that, hey, I'll entertain these idiots. You're eating up the cope? Oh, yes. Yes. So much copium, where you're proving just how big of a loser you are. Cool. Yeah, he's pretty pathetic. MAGA wouldn't offer their own children's, or would offer their own children so that Trump could take them to Epstein Island. Yeah, he strikes me as that type. Broke Jim enjoying those Snap Cheetos. Yeah, Jim was one of those Republicans that was definitely like, yeah, and SNAP benefits, but then he's just like, yeah, don't come from mine. I don't know. Jim, why are you still here? Like, say Facebook. It is kind of fun, like I said, to watch you just fucking back and forth. Why would I want approval from you? Oh, you don't need my approval. As I said, I just think it's funny that you don't have fuck you money and you're sitting here acting like you do. There's nothing funnier than a fucking loser that's just like, I make fuck you money. I'm doing so great. Dude, go cry into your cum towel. Jim Bob is crashing out for the Epstein class. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, we know. We know that you read the Epstein files and you didn't get any outrage. I think that you had the opposite. I think that, honestly, you're protecting them for a different reason. I don't know. Check I say check his computer for sure. But. Oh, Rebecca, I was having fun. Well, I guess Rebecca says that I can't have fun anymore. It's okay. Oh, damn, the R slur. Oh, shit, he said it. Republicans. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Well, I got two out there. I like how I had to ask you guys for permission. See, that's how much I actually value your feedback on this. Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. Okay. Well, that's interesting. We're getting some more news coming in about the rescue efforts here. Oh, he ban-evaded? Oh, he did. He tried to create a new account. Oh my god. Dude. Wow. Yeah, he's just here to watch me crash out. Meanwhile, creates an alt account when he gets banned. That's definitely showing that he wasn't triggered, guys. I was going to start asking him G codes. I don't believe he's a real machinist, just an operator. Oh, dude. If he gets back in here, hey, if he gets back in here with an alt account again, don't ban him right away. I want me runs to have a go. Let me runs seriously. Just watching totally needs another account. Yep. Magar deceitful snakes like that. Oh yeah, dude. Also, Tulkus, if you have not already subbed to the channel, please do. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Despite the fact that, yes, when I go back and forth with trolls like this, it's not all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I enjoy it. Sometimes it's kind of fun. And also, like I said, I might as well, you want to talk about shooting your shot. Nothing was funnier than having a MAGA chud donate to my stream and prove me, I shut the fuck up pretty quick. That's Cope. You going, oh, hey. He's back. Bob Bunn. You're not a real machinist. Me runs. There you go. Have fun. That was some good roasting, minus the Arsler. Oh, fine. Fucking Natch calling. All right. We're back to that. I guess I won't use it again. Ugh. I'm telling you, though. Because of, these debate bro, idiots that I've, had to talk to, that shit works, dude. Because trust me, call them the F word, watch them freak out. For real. Not that I have. I'm just saying, that one will get them. That's the reason that they're so happy that they got it back. But that's also where I say, no, make it lose its power. Call them that because they're actually scared of being that. Here's the thing: if they call a gay person that word, yes, they are using the slur and they're doing it to try and make you feel bad. But realistically, if it means that you're gay, doesn't that is that bad? You just go, yeah, I am. You know what? Fuck you. Yeah, I am. But you know what? You're gay. That's the thing, guys. You got to take that takes the power away. You understand that, right? Words lose their power when you take them back like that. That was the whole thing with the N-word. That's why that was the whole discourse from the 90s on. And then a bunch of lame white guys were like, how come I can't say it? You guys get to say the C word. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yeah. 3 accounts. Oh, he's probably got another one. It's not been reclaimed as a word, though. It should be, though. The thing is, it should be. Because the R slur was never used. Even when I was a kid, not once did I see somebody use that word making fun of somebody that was mentally challenged. That was the thing. I grew up in a time where you called everyone that word except for somebody that had a condition. You would literally, even if you were the shittiest person, you'd go dude, what the? Whoa. And then they would kind of go what, too far? It's yeah, it's okay. And that's the thing. That's how we would differentiate between truly bad people and people that were just kind of, assholes a little bit. But I get it, dude. I get it. I'm online. I'm an online personality, and there's this weird thing where I get it. People are just My wife has explained this to me, where she's like, if you are going to lose people because they're offended by it, why would you even go and say it? It's like, you're right. You're right. And I can't argue that. I just can't argue that. Because I'm not an asshole like that. I don't want people to feel bad. Like, so if I'm offending Natch, good enough for me to not say it, okay? But there are times where I don't know. It's just that it's almost like that primal fucking, like, I just know how they will react to it, because they already, like, because you also understand that they play this game knowing that you will play referee while cheating. That's how they do this. This is why they're so effective at this, is we're too busy self-policing and then doing this thing where we really focus on things that don't matter. Because does that actually matter? It doesn't. It doesn't change anything. It really doesn't. Uni with the real talk. Shout out Uni. Oh, yeah. No, she talks me down on that stuff. Hey, it's just about not punching down. Exactly, but how is it punching down? How is it punching down calling a Republican the R word? How is that punching down? Because technically, I am punching down because I genuinely do think they're stupid people. So does that mean that I shouldn't make fun of Republicans because I genuinely think that they're stupid people? There are lines here, guys, and this is the thing. This is what I was talking about like them counting on this shit. They're counting on everybody, always focusing on just being a bitch. Just being like, oh, I don't like the wordies. I don't like the words, the mean words. Oh! Sorry. I don't want to stoop to their level. Oh, but sometimes you gotta. Like, sometimes you literally, like, as I said, matching energy is sometimes the only way that you get these people to realize how they are acting. But people who are the... Wait, what? Are you, like, using that, like, in the term that it's supposed to actually represent? See, like, this is the thing. I just want to have this broader conversation. Like I said, I will take that out of my fucking lexicon because it offends you guys. I'm just saying, this is where we gotta fucking get some tougher skin, guys. Seriously. You do. Because if this is the worst, like, bro... They're literally trying to say that trans people are not people. They will. You want to talk about dead naming and fucking. Now they're dead gendering. Like, they're literally just going to not recognize you as the gender that you say you are. Like, this is the thing, man. If I'm gonna use their, like, this is, it's kind of like the analogy about how, like, even the Russians would use the Germans' guns during battle because at some point you just realize that that weapon is more effective. Well, that's how that goes. I'm against the use of the word for a female dog to describe women. See, I don't police language, really. I police if I know that you're using it as a bad person. Like I said. But if you guys never, like, honestly, if you guys want to always have your empathy weaponized against you, that's the way to do it. And that's honestly why they have been effective with this shit, man. I've been saying this for a while. You got the good roast, man. You don't need it. Like I said, I say that a lot. But like I did say, sometimes they don't respond to the good roast material. Sometimes you got to take it literally to their level for them to go like, huh? Like, I might be wrong about this, but like calling them the F word, that's like, that offends them way more than it should any gay person. It's about words and power, but no, I'm not here to police your words. I'm good with it. I've just been chastised so many times. I know the responses. That's the problem, though. That's the thing. Like, I know I'm fighting an uphill battle here, especially like with the people that watch me, because too many people just do not agree with me, and I'm fine with that. But realistically, this is how people interact in life. And I'll be honest, I don't want to fucking do this thing where I have to stop myself, like, in a moment where I'm having a heated discussion where I just want to say that and be like, maybe not. The sounds, yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that. That's where I'm saying, like, you have to understand context does matter in some of these cases. No, I'll be honest. It seems like a lot of people are looking for their next victim to cancel because of fucking words. And also, they will let the right-wingers frame who they are going to cancel. Because they literally do this thing where they're like, look what he said. Aren't you going to cancel him? Go cancel him. And the thing is, they usually do. That's what this is my whole thing that I've been saying about the 2015 fucking, like, cancel culture bullshit. And I'm not changing on this one. I spent too many goddamn hours in comedy clubs hearing about this stuff. And realistically, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with this fucking, well, we gotta tighten up. Okay. Listen, like I have been trying to articulate, this isn't about trying to, like, just, oh, I want to use the R word just for everything. Because that, but I would love to be able to even use the R word or hear the R word and not have that, ooh. Oh, you forgot the M word. You can't say the M word for little people. Even though I've literally been told by a professional wrestler that is a little person that I can more than use that. But no, I can't. Because I was told by leftists online that I can't say that. Be completely real. That's all it is, dude. Like, you understand? This is the thing about Latinx. I remember having this conversation with one of my best friends, Mexican guy. He was literally saying how dumb Latinx is. He's like, you know that, like, white liberals, they created Latinx. He's like, dude, I'm Latino. This is, like, honestly, you guys being stupid and not knowing how, like, phonetic, or, like, not phonetics, what's it called? Conjugation. And I think he's right. I was 100% like, I think he's right. I think it's like the people that the word to be used to refer to were people with differences. These people are just stupid assholes. That's the thing, though. I've literally been told that using stupid is the same thing because they were saying how stupid is a derivative of the R word. So honestly, see, this is where I'm saying, guys, you don't see that. When I'm getting met with the exact thing that I was like, oh, this is, hey, that's the whole thing where it's like, where's the line? Oh, you guys are moving the line now. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. People are using Latin now anyway. Yes, because they realized how stupid that was. They really, like, they kind of did walk it back and they realized how stupid using Latinx was. I've never had an issue changing my language if I knew it was hurtful to some people. The thing is, it depends. It really depends, guys. Like I said, the context is that I'm interacting with shitheads that they will only really respond to when you say something like that. Because then, like, my favorite one, and I know this might be stupid on my part. I know I'm arguing for something kind of stupid. Trust me, I get it. But you have to understand there is a line. Because when they do that, I thought you couldn't say that. That's where I have been met with that more times than you can imagine, even not as a content creator. But enlightenment is a continuing process. Using enlightened language as a choice. Yeah, but that's not my choice. You guys can make that choice. It's a choice of whether or not you know. And I hate to say that, and trust me, this is where I play this game where I will not cater to you just because. Now, I will say, like I said, starting to get mad at myself for repeating that, but because I respect you guys, yes, I will try to not use it. But I'm also not going to fucking lie to you guys and pretend that, oh, I'm so enlightened. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I don't go around using the N-word. I don't go around using any of that stuff. But, you know, this is the reason, is because when I was in high school, like once we established the line, and it actually stopped at F word. I won't use that. I personally won't, because I did see it used as too much of a hateful thing. Like, what are you, F word? It's like, Jesus. But that's also where I do say, if you are gay, please be proud. Be gay and proud. Be very gay and proud. Like, geez, I saw, again, like, this is where the line is there. The policing from the left does take away from the real issues, especially since conservatives would rather dog on you for language rather than talk about their policies. Yes, thank you for seeing it that way, Bloodstone. I appreciate that. I like that we can discuss this. Yeah, me too. No, seriously, me too. I love the fact that we can discuss this and I can be honest about this. But I'm also, this goes back to where I'm sorry, like if I'm not catering to you enough on that language front, I apologize. Like, I get it. No, literally, I'm saying the opposite of that. I'm saying that you can do, like, this is what I'm saying, Groove Dragon. Your choice to not say that word is fine. But the problem is when you start saying people like me or somebody else in your life can't say it because you don't want to say it, that's where I kind of draw the line. You know, specifically with that word. Now, is this kind of a stupid argument? Yeah, I totally fucking get it. And that's why, like, I would prefer that this wasn't even an argument where it's just like, okay. Like, if someone's actually, like, again, if someone's offended by it, number one, I would like to take it on a case-by-case basis where somebody comes up to me and say, hey, I was offended that you said the R word about, like, the thing is it about you? Because most of the time, I'm calling a fucking Trumper who comes in here to, like, talking about how they don't believe in climate change, how they don't believe their eyes. But, whatever. All those words, such as the N-word at one time, was okay for people to say. The line moves between people are terrible, and language is a tool. Yes, to a point, though. Like, to a point. Because, again, the way that, like, the N-word was used, like, dude, that like, was so hard that it would literally, like, break through, like, generations. Like, it almost became, like, DNA coded where you hear it and you're like, ooh. Because, like, I remember when my grandma was using that, I knew that was a word that you just cannot use, and my dad used to pull that shit where, she's from a different generation. But then, my grandma was a late learner. I was about 6 or 7 years old, and she saw that, you know, I hung out with different cultures, and just in general, like, the neighborhood was not exactly white. So at some point she started getting more curious, and then this is kind of lame. I hate to admit this, but it is what it is. We had a woman that started working with my grandmother who was, you know, her name was Yolanda, black woman. And my grandmother all of a sudden changed into a different person as far as, like, using those words. And then she even apologized, because she even said, she was just like, you know, I was pushing back because I wasn't recognizing how hateful I was and why I was being hateful. And it really was because I didn't understand. And I was pushing back because it was more comfortable just, like, to do so because it's how I was raised. And it was just like, and that's where I understand. I'm kind of coming at it from the same perspective a little bit, but the difference being is who I'm engaging with. Like, she wasn't using it engaging in these types of arguments where all of a sudden it was kind of to prove a point, how it's like, oh yeah. Like, because realistically, for instance, I have had this exact argument with a right-winger where it's just like, oh, so words don't offend you? And then I call them the R word and they were like, hey, it's like, and it's because they thought it was theirs. Like, seriously, because I was talking about the Tony Hinchcliffe stuff, and he was just like, well, yeah, and that's where I was saying, certain, like, if you walk this line, guess what you're doing? You're literally giving all the comedians in the Austin scene and, like, the comedy mothership scene, you're giving them that. And they're more than happy to take that. Trust me. I personally saw firsthand when people with mental and physical, See, this is the difference between what we had then. If that was happening, me and my friends would have gone and beat those guys up. We wouldn't have cared. Like, that's the thing that I kind of miss about, like, being a teenager. Because at some point you just knew. You're like, I'm going to get, like, worst case, I get a misdemeanor. And, like, okay, so it's on my record for a little bit. That's why I never thought twice about fighting. I didn't give a shit. The second I turned 18, that became a problem. 21, I stopped. I was just like, I'm not doing that. Nope. Because I had it explained to me. It's like, oh, yeah. These charges are a lot different now. You have an autistic cousin. If someone calls them that, yeah, they're going to have a problem. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. But that's where I was saying, like, I told the story about my brother and, like, his roommate. Dude, his roommate was hilarious. Good evening from Norway. Good evening. Man, I'm getting a lot of people from Norway lately. Is it because Vosh is moving to Norway that all of a sudden... Or, wait, he's not moving to Norway. He's moving to the Netherlands. My bad. Mixed up your countries. Well, welcome to the show. No, I've just been getting a lot of people from Norway lately. My husband's son has autism too, Natch. Well, I mean... For real, those people get stopped. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, this is what I miss about, like, having nuance to this stuff. Like, and yeah, I know this is gonna come off as, like, literally lame white dude lamenting about what he can and can't say and what he used to be able to say in high school. It's literal. Trust me, I understand the optics of this. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is, though. And the thing is, not enough people are willing to be honest with how they feel about this stuff. Especially on the left, because I've had these conversations. Like, I'm gonna just say this, and I'm not gonna out who it is. I have had a private conversation with somebody on the left that is a leftist content creator that I know for a fact uses the same language, but they're afraid to anywhere except in our private conversations. Now, does that bother you more because they're not actually true to who they are, like all the time? And it kind of like it could come off as like they are putting on like because I just see it as, oh, they care about, like, you know, having their audience, and they like that's their thing. They're kind of a character, or like they're playing like a caricature of themselves. But yeah, we Norwegian are just here to say thanks to the USA. We are making a fortune on oil and gas sales. Yeah, you are. No, dude, Europe's doing pretty good. Acceptable language just changes, and we have to be adaptable. I am definitely adaptable, and I already was. Like, honestly, I hate to call them my contemporaries, but Jesus Christ, I might as well. If my contemporaries in comedy didn't make this whole push to, like, take it back, I wouldn't even be doing this. Okay? Trust me. Like, it was so much easier where we all just kind of all agreed, like, yeah, you don't say that. Because, like, even Joe Rogan was kind of saying that recently, where he was just like, yeah, you know, I still don't necessarily fling the R word out like willy-nilly. It takes, like, he even says, like, it takes like a special occasion kind of thing. Did Jim Bob SquarePants chicken out already? Pep, your main point is to don't let them weaponize our empathy. I don't disagree there. Yeah, and that's the thing. They always do. They constantly will, like, fucking woke scold you. Do you know how pathetic it is to allow yourself to get woke scolded by a fucking maggot? Like, come on. And I've seen it, dude. I've literally seen it. It's fucked up. Kay Basinger. 1 Corinthians 11:4. Is that 11:14? Or 11 through 4, or 11 through 14. Because usually they'll do 11 and then they'll do 1, through 7 or whatever. Here, let's see. Corinthians. I like 2 Corinthians better. It actually tells you about what Jesus wanted. Does not the very nature of things teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a disgrace to himself? And then here, let's get 15 now. I can take the Bible out of context too, by the way. But if a woman has long hair, it is in the glory for her hair is given to her for a covering. Now, what does that mean for Jesus? Because all of pop culture, Jesus has long hair, right? Okay. Now, let me say unto you, my friend. Enter through the narrow gate for wide as the gate is broad. Wait a minute, that's not it. Hold on. No cussing, please. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself and shove a dildo up your ass. I don't want to hear it. There we go. Does that kind of show you guys where I'm coming from, by the way? Wrong time to ask Pep not to cuss. I love that Natch is just like, ooh. You saw where that was going. Ooh. We Norwegian are just here to say thank you for the news. Do Canada say that they might cut off oil and power supply to the U.S.? Shit is getting scary. Sorry for cussing. Don't worry about it. Subway sucks now. $18 for a sandwich. F that. Yeah, no shit, dude. If Mary was 13 when she had Jesus, what does that make God? Oh, you got kicked already? There we go. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Watch out for the false prophet. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inward they are ferocious wolves. See, the thing is, you wanted to make fun of me for looking like a woman, right? Yep. Well, sheep's clothing. Are you judgmental? Because only God can actually judge. See, by their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, very good trees bear good fruit, but bad trees bear bad fruit. Oh, man. Let's see. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only those who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and in your name drive out demons and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will say to them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. They don't like that one. As I said, guys, I've said that a lot today. I try and be more aware of that, of all things. But yeah, Matthew 7 says it pretty clear, you know. Jesus and God, like the God that you love and the God that you say that, like, you know, is going to save you from your sins and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, your God is telling you that what you're doing is wrong and actually will lead to you not being recognized as a good Christian. See, I can cherry pick the Bible too. Except when I cherry pick it, I use the ones that are absolutes, because this was the Sermon on the Mount. This was like, here's the difference, and a lot of you guys that aren't Christians might not recognize this. So the Gospels are they're the inspired word of God, yes, but the actual stories of Christ's like works, those are the holiest. Like, you don't question those. And if she does, like, if this lady wants to fucking come here and be like, the Bible says that you're not supposed to have long hair. Well, guess what? I'm not a Christian either. I just happen to know the Bible better than you. Like most atheists usually do. Daffing sex scuttlebutt. Too expensive is to damn Sandy. Wait, what? Leadbelly used the term woke in a Smithsonian recording of the Scottsboro Boys at the end of the song about wrongfully convicted young black men. He said, "Stay woke, keep your eyes open." I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. I knew it came from like black culture in general, but I didn't know exactly where that came from. My local Subway is now just a sub shop, and at night you see the old Subway shine from underneath the new sign. That's kind of funny. I used to trade $10 worth for a footlong. Yeah, no, $5 foot long, many, or any. Yeah, you guys remember that? That was like the last one. God, those were the days. Also, Jared. Jared. Hey, 421, by the way. You're avoiding beef for 6 months? I wish I could say I am, but I'm not. Dude, I can barely remember to eat. So taking away like my Taco Bell runs or just I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, thank you, Groove Dragon. I like learning stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's really cool. But yeah, what about Samson's hair? Oh shit. Yeah, Rebecca, wait a minute. That's right. I forgot about that. Oh, that's why the Greek city of Corinth, short hair was customary for men while long hair was customary for women. Or while long hair on men was often associated with effeminacy, pagan temple servants. Oh, that's what it was. This was like their whole takeover of the Greek Orthodox. I remember now. Which is weird because I actually don't, believe in the Greek Orthodox telling of the Bible. Or I didn't when I was a Christian. And that came from, on high. Our pastor would tell us how wrong that was and how technically that was like a bastardized version of the Bible because it recognized a lot of pagan rituals. Ugh. Hi, do you speak French? You're in Bordeaux? No français. Au revoir? Au revoir? Au revoir! Oh, I do speak French! Oh, damn it, I did it. I tried not to, but I did it. I just couldn't help myself. I remember being able to see a movie and get a Happy Meal for $10. Happy Meal for $10? Jesus, how much are you paying for a Happy Meal now? Holy crap. You can sing Happy Birthday in French. My 4th grade teacher used to teach it. In America, French speaks you. Nice. Yeah, no, hell yeah. Wait. Watashki Kochani? Watashki Kochani? Did I say that right? Hey, I'll try. I'll at least try. You used to know a Christmas Carol in French? All right. Let's get to this. Let's get to the other side of the news here. We got quite a bit to get to. So, what time is it? Oh, 4:20. All right, so this is no joke. Shit's going down in Wisconsin.
This one is stopping many people right in their tracks.
Yeah, Derica Williams is following this story live for us from our live center. Derica, what's going on here?
Okay, so this
I like it. What's going on here?
one kind of hits close to home, and not only just giving me the ick, but I'm really worried about the food safety too. So I just wanted to kind of take a deep dive into this video.
Just when we were like already dealing with food insecurity, here we go.
So check this out first. So we just got the okay to share this video of an incident. It's at the Panda Express on Milwaukee's Miller Parkway. So this is in West Milwaukee. Take a look right there. Yes, it captures a Panda Express worker stepping around food. Look, the girl's still like just pouring fries in the basket as the guy's over there cleaning. It seems like he's trying to clean that fry station area, but this is all in the midst of food being prepared. It's like no one's missing a beat. This guy's up there spraying the top. He's stepping his dirty shoe and foot right there in the fry area.
In the fryer.
Okay, everyone's kind of like grossed out by this. Obviously, we're like, what is going on at this location? So Fox Business elaborated more on this incident. So apparently, the person who captured this footage, Paul Finger, said he noticed the gentleman just kind of jump on the fryer and the lady just poured food into it. So he detailed what he saw. The worker started
They think that we also want to eat the boot.
spraying and wiping.
Dude.
Standing right over the food. He said he couldn't
Oh my God, if someone with a red hat was in there, it's just like, I have your meal.
believe his eyes, and I think like neither can we. And no one
These
seems
employees
to say
are putting in 110%. The thing is, yeah, but that's not great. That's not great.
anything. That's
I mean, dude,
kind of the bad part too. The female employee, as you saw right there, just continued on, reached between his legs.
yeah, he
dropped
just
the bowl
kept
of fries in
going.
the
Oh my
basket.
God, come on. Yeah, she literally pours it in the
The
fryer.
worker kept on
Bro.
going. So we did reach out to
Who
Panda
still
Express.
ordered and ate while they were watching that?
And a
I mean, dude, people are literally like still picking out food while he was doing that. Like they didn't notice he was doing it.
Spokesperson released this statement. It says, the incident occurred in early July and we addressed it
10 toes
immediately,
down.
becoming aware of it. The behavior shown is inconsistent with our food safety and workplace
is it?
standards.
Is it?
We took corrective action, conducted retraining, and reinforced proper safety procedures.
Oh, they didn't
at the
fire him. That's
restaurant
good.
And
That's
throughout
good.
the region. So the safety of our
Yeah,
guests.
retrain. Yeah, he should not get fired because literally he's trying to do his job. And the thing is, when you're doing that kind of stuff and they're telling you to like do your cleaning duties, you don't necessarily think of like, oh, like the chemicals from whatever you're spraying going down into the fryer or on the food or any of that stuff. You just don't think about that.
And associates remain top priority. We have
So
reached
yeah,
out
like
to the
he just needs to be taught like, no.
health department, and it just has me thinking, like, if we're seeing this guy's the nasty shoe, what else maybe? So I started digging into maybe past violations. I said, let me go to the health department in the meantime and see.
Well, to be fair, I mean, at least with Panda Express, that's an immediate thing that will be fixed. We have learned that at actual Chinese food restaurants in Florida, I'm going to just say it. I don't think I'm ever eating Chinese in Fort Lauderdale ever.
What some of their other violations were.
Ever.
So this one was not on there, but there was one from 2026. Taking a quick look, a couple of them are dealing with like food
I
contact.
like how she's just like, wait a minute. And she's even thinking like, is that the one I go to?
And like soiled surfaces, things like that. The surface of the interior and the small prep area was visibly soiled. And some of these also are repeat violations that I've seen too. And this is just over like the past 2 years or so at this location. One
there's
of them,
multiple.
The food and non-contact service. So the mixing one at the cook line was heavily
I
soiled.
think she just vomited in her mouth. She's definitely not doing okay because she's literally like.
And also food contact services at the ice machine are visibly soiled. So that one was back in June of 2025. Like I said, we had some in 2026. But it just had me looking into it. So we're waiting to hear back on this incident.
Nice
but,
like
this
ratio.
also
Good job,
just
chat.
goes
Thank
to show
you.
take a
Hell
look
yeah.
at these
Thanks,
from
guys.
Maybe even your favorite restaurants, because you can see what it uncovers instead of a viral video like that, making like, ugh,
This is bananas.
It's crazy. Like,
Yeah, retrained the whole team because they saw him doing that and didn't stop him.
The shoe is one thing, Derica, but for me, it's also like if you've sprayed your house before, you know that not like there's drippage.
It drips.
Yeah.
So there's cleaning.
Yeah, I mean, dude, seriously, like I was just cleaning my bathroom the other day. So I have to wear a mouth guard. I do that thing where like I grind a lot at night. So I have retainer cleaner, right? So I was cleaning my mirror and like I dusted the wall and I'm cleaning my mirror with the Windex and I forgot to take my cup with my retainer or my not my retainer, my mouth guard in it, and I forgot to move it. So like I dumped that, I cleaned the cup and then redid the whole thing because I was just like, yeah. Dude, I don't even want like a little bit of fucking Windex in there.
Pollution in those fryers.
Yep. And for no one to say like, hey, stop, don't do that. It was like business as usual, which was like, why is this okay? So we'll see what
oh, that kind of grind?
This unfolds as well, guys.
Eat there at your own risk.
I am the only patient my dentist has ever seen that broke his own tooth.
There you go.
Oof.
Also, I love how
with a mouth guard in.
Erica's the perfect person to be on this case because she's our in-house health department.
She does not miss with making sure things are clean.
She keeps the newsroom food on the up and up.
She is a great co-worker for me.
This is in Milwaukee, by the way.
Good reasons.
Yes, and that is one of them. On July 30th.
Okay, so we'll come back to this one. I wanted to keep this here. Yeah, we'll come back to this one. All right. Rest in peace, Tim Curry.
So in these last 12 years, I mean, we all think about it as we age. Do you think about the end of your life? Are you afraid of it? Are you?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death.
So, full disclosure, this is what happened to my brother. When he had his stroke, he ended up kind of like, actually, Tim Curry has more mobility and more of himself. But yeah, it's the same thing.
I try to avoid it.
That's why, like, I'm sad about my brother dying, but he was ready.
As I think we all do. But I suspect that in the end I will welcome it.
What does that mean?
Well, I think it may be very comforting to go bye-bye, and I want to earn it.
What a badass, man. He's sitting there.
What is that?
Oh my God, he's laughing about it, man.
Well, I want to earn the privilege of not being here.
But that doesn't mean you're looking forward to it.
No, I'm not galloping towards it.
But it sounds like
He still has charisma.
you think it might be something of a relief.
I think I may well embrace it.
What a badass. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. Holy crap. Man. Sorry, I didn't expect that to hit me as hard. All right. Let's get some top here we go. Let's get the top headlines and we'll reset. I was not expecting that to hit me.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report.
By the way, hit the like button, please.
Amy Goodman.
I did the same. Oh, man, I can't even be goofy right now.
We'll be back later this week. Iran announced that it's resumed negotiations with Oman over managing the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, shit. She doesn't actually need to be sped up. I'm sorry, Amy. I'm so sorry.
Despite mounting economic pressure from President Trump. It comes as the U.S. says it has completed the
Breaking news? Yeah, I mean, dude, did you not see what happened in Nepal?
clearing of mines.
We've already gone through it. Just look up what happened in Nepal. What did Anna Kasparian do now?
From the Strait
What did Anna Kasparian do now? That's a very good question. What'd she do now? I'm
of Hormuz.
lost.
An oil tanker was struck by an unidentified projectile off the coast of Oman on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the U.S.
I'm sorry. I just kind of had that moment where I'm like, dude, we cover so much of her where it's like, oh, great. Damn, is Barron already balding at 21?
said that it was tracking a recent
Holy
video
shit. He is.
broadcast by Iranian state television to assassinate Trump's youngest son, Barron. The potential plot alleges that a $10 million bounty had been offered for his killing. In Gaza, Palestinians in Khan Yunis held a vigil at Nasser Hospital for journalists killed by an Israeli strike a year ago. On August 25th,
Oh, you haven't seen their Newsmax interview? Oh, God.
2025, Israel struck Nasser Hospital, killing at least
Well, I guess
20
we'll cover it.
people, including 5 journalists who worked for Reuters, the Associated Press, Al Jazeera, and other
He got
news
his father's
outlets.
genes? Yeah.
Reuters editor-in-chief Alessandra Galloni and the AP's executive editor Julie Pace issued a joint statement Tuesday saying,
Oh, you
quote,
just got audio right now? Okay, so what ended up happening is they put a $10 million bounty on Barron Trump. No, they did not fire anything at him.
we again call on the government of Israel to
And what happened in Nepal was apparently there was an earthquake that they're theorizing right now. We do not know for sure, but the theory is that the earthquake shook off a glacier that fell into a river, and then that river it flash flooded an entire village. And I mean, it took the entire village out. And they're saying that 7 different villages were damaged and at the same capacity. Like that, dude, what's happening in Nepal is insane.
explain the deaths of these journalists and
Oh
take
no, and there's video of you see it happen, and just I don't know, man. I'm shook today because I'm wondering, I am realizing just how quick it can all end. Literally flat, it could just power goes out. Done.
Take every step necessary to protect journalists covering the conflict.
Yeah, an
We'll
overland tsunami.
continue to seek answers, demand accountability, and call for access to Gaza to provide support to our colleagues who've been covering the war for almost 3 years now. These were the 5 journalists killed by Israel a year ago.
Jesus.
Reuters journalist Hussam al-Masri, who was killed while operating a live video feed at the hospital, Mariam Abu Dakha, who freelanced for the Associated Press and other outlets, Mohammed Salama, who worked for Al Jazeera, Muaz Abu Taha, a freelance journalist who worked with several news organizations, and Ahmad Abu Aziz. This is the brother of Reuters journalist Hussam al-Masri.
They were not numbers, but they were lives moving among us. Each one of them had a dream,
Sorry, I didn't realize you were in the middle of
a hope, a
saying something.
home, children, and a wife. They were living their lives, but the occupation targeted them
Oh
for
yes,
no other reason.
the Chinese hackers thing. Oh my God, that's right. I forgot. Right before I started stream, there's breaking news that hackers. All right, I got to cover that next. Yeah. CCTV footage on Guardian shows the moment of the flash flood. Yeah, we saw it. Chinese hackers just hit the Fed, NASA, and DOJ,
Jerusalem,
and possibly the Senate via USA Today. Saw 700 tourists alone are MIA in Nepal, probably 20 to 30 local. No, not 20 to 30 locals. Oh no. It's over 500 people.
Formed the Qalandia Training Center,
on top of the 700 tourists.
major UNRWA facility in the Kafr Aqab neighborhood on Tuesday.
Dude, all right, I'm going to just say this. Do not take those numbers for anything. Every news agency is saying we cannot even tally. They're just giving us who they're finding and an idea of who was in the region, but they're saying that this could be thousands of people.
Troops forced all
China did what? According to the USA Today, China hacked the DOJ, the Fed, NASA, the Senate, and possible other government agencies.
staff out of the facility and ordered them not to come back.
Yeah, dude.
The Jerusalem
This is wild Wednesday.
Governorate reported that 5 Palestinians were wounded by Israeli gunfire near the Qalandia training site. This is UN spokesperson Stéphane Dujarric.
Today's actions are the 5th.
Oh, and also, Epstein files. A judge ordered the release of the Epstein files, and Trump is fighting it.
Instance of unauthorized entry by Israeli authorities in the center since May this year, and follow other unacceptable breaches of inviolability and of interference with UNRWA premises in occupied East Jerusalem.
I'm never going on X. Groove, I don't blame you, dude. I literally had a mental breakdown that I couldn't. It's not fully from X, but it was definitely a contributor because I'll tell you what, my first time using Twitter, really using Twitter was this weekend. And by Monday, I was so angry I couldn't control myself.
Including the seizure and demolition of the Sheikh Jarrah compound.
Yeah, shout out Katie
as well
Fang.
as cutting
Fuck
off
yeah.
supply of water and electricity to multiple other UNRWA facilities.
Meanwhile, in the occupied West Bank, far-right Israeli lawmaker Tzvi Sukkot entered the Palestinian village of Madama on Tuesday, escorted by soldiers, and destroyed a limestone monument with a sledgehammer. Video verified by the New York Times
Little bitch.
shows at least
This motherfucker doesn't know how to swing a hammer. I'm sorry. Can I just at least laugh at just how weak and pathetic that little bitch boy was? Oh, sorry, Groove
two
Dragon.
soldiers standing by without intervening.
Look.
The U.S.
Fucking idiot.
has delisted Syria as a state sponsor of terrorism, eliminating what Damascus calls the
He looks so pathetic. That's why I'm calling it like I sees it, and I sees it as he's a little weenie.
last major obstacle
L7 weenie
to international investment. Syria had been on the list since 1979
back to
after Washington accused
not even
Hafez
high school,
al-Assad's
elementary
government of backing
school.
militant groups.
He's using a
The
toy
designation
hammer.
stayed in place under
We should go back. Oh, wait. Got a bit. I got a bit. Hold on. No, Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. The soundboard's not working. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Go back to the hammer.
Facilities.
Meanwhile, in the occupied West
There we
Bank,
go.
far-right Israeli lawmaker Tzvi Sukkot entered the Palestinian village of Madama on Tuesday, escorted by soldiers, and destroyed a limestone monument with a sledgehammer. Video verified by the New York Times shows at least two soldiers standing by without intervening. The U.S. has delisted Syria as a state sponsor of terrorism, eliminating
Worth it.
what Damascus calls the last major obstacle to international investment. Syria had been on the list since 1979 after Washington accused Hafez al-Assad's government of backing militant groups. The designation stayed in place under his son Bashar al-Assad, who was ousted in December 2024 by rebels led by Ahmad al-Sharaa, who is now Syria's president. Cuba, Iran, and North Korea remain on the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism. U.S. media reported that CIA Director John Ratcliffe made an unannounced trip to Moscow after flight records showed an American military plane landing in the Russian capital. A U.S. diplomatic...
Oh, forgot about this. Oh, my God. Okay, so listen to what she's about to say. This is wild, and this just went under the radar. I haven't seen this on CNN or anything, so it's like,
motorcade was also spotted. The CIA director's reported trip follows a breakdown in U.S. brokered talks on ending the Ukraine war, though Russia did free a former U.S. Marine this month after nearly 4 years in detention. Canada responded to President Trump's tariffs by doubling its tariffs.
Oh, that wasn't even like, I heard that this was because of a breakdown where they were fearing that there was going to be retaliation from Russia.
Tariffs on American steel and aluminum from 25% to 50% on Tuesday. Canada will also
and yet the stock market's just like, and everything's great.
Impose tariffs ranging from 15% to
right
50% on about 700 other products. The U.S. had imposed a 50% tariff on $20 billion worth of Canadian imports. This comes as President Trump said on social media he is, quote, giving serious consideration to renaming Lake Ontario Lake America.
I do only need 2 followers to hit 666 today.
Here in New York City, an interfaith coalition on Tuesday denounced the upcoming visit of a prominent Hindu nationalist.
You have some great news, but also a problem. Oh, well, Luthen, number 1, good to see you. It's been a minute. What's up? What's the problem?
From India at Madison
You have
Square
some great
Garden
news,
this
but also,
Mohan
but also a problem.
Bhagwat is the
So the good news is not a problem, right?
head of the RSS, a far-right
I'm waiting with bated breath on this one.
Closely linked to India's ruling BJP party.
You interested
Prime
me.
Minister Narendra Modi is a member of the group, and Bhagwat's rally in New York marks the
666, the number of the beast.
beginning of a global speaking tour for the 100th anniversary of the RSS. Earlier this year, the
Sorry,
United
once I hit that number, that's how I'm going to speak. Like, literally, I'm going to be starting every show. Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to rock? Because it's 666, baby!
States Commission on International Religious Freedom
And then all of a sudden, 667 is just like, hi, welcome back to Pep Talks.
The U.S. imposed sanctions against the RSS for their responsibility for and tolerance of...
You got engaged! Oh, fuck yeah! High five! Congratulations on your engagement, my friend. Which is amazing. The bad news is that we went for tacos to celebrate, and I have been firing out some hot farts, and I want to stop so it doesn't ruin the evening.
Attacks on religious minorities, including Muslims and Christians.
Actually, the Tums mixed with Gas X, or it's like their form of Gas X. It works really well.
This is Brad.
It'll cancel out those hot farts.
Under the Democratic...
But just know it kind of acts like Imodium a little bit, so it'll back you up.
Party's nominee for New York City's 10th congressional district.
This event,
4 out of 10 Bruce Dickinson impression. Try again soon. So much potential.
back to that 1939
Dude, that's like all right,
Nazi rally that was hosted at Madison Square Garden.
I was just doing my 80s rocker.
Banners of swastikas and tens
Listen,
of
that
thousands.
wasn't Bruce Dickinson. That was more like if you went to Spirit Halloween and picked up a costume that literally said 80s rocker. That's it.
People cheering ethnic and religious hatred and violence of a very similar sort to what Mohad Bhagwan and the RSS are proposing. And MSG said it wouldn't do that again, that it wouldn't
Also, thanks, Screw Dragon.
host any more hate-filled,
Appreciate that.
bigoted rallies. It should not host this one.
ICE detained nearly 50,000 people in July.
You've never heard the term no Taco Bell on date night?
A record monthly high since President Trump returned to office. ICE has increasingly relied on collaboration from state and local law enforcement to arrest more...
I don't know. Let's put it this way. If I was dating and a girl's just like, can we eat Taco Bell? It's just like, oh, this date went awful.
Immigrants at traffic stops, a partnership that's become key
Either that or she's just fucking...
to Trump's mass deportation campaign.
If it does go down where you're just like, oh, she's wild.
In related news, New York's legislation prohibiting state and local law enforcement agencies from cooperating with ICE went into
If she
effect
asks for
yesterday.
Taco Bell,
Under the
she's a
Local
keeper.
Cops Local Crimes
yeah.
Act, the agreements must be terminated, setting up a potential legal battle with New York counties that have not yet committed to complying with the statute. This is New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
ICE's dangerous and aggressive tactics to pursue civil immigration. Again, I'm very clear here. For civil immigration enforcement. This only continues to evoke fear on our streets. And our local cops will not be part of it. Because we hold our police to a higher standard. They hold themselves to a higher standard.
6 immigrants who were deported from the U.S. to Liberia last week reportedly resisted
Ain't no
getting
romance and help happening after the bell.
plane and were instead flown to Equatorial Guinea. The Trump administration has secretly...
This is all right. This is a beautiful point that you reach in your relationship is when you guys have your date night, you're thinking about it, but then between Monkey Time and Taco Bell, the time that you choose Taco Bell where you just go, fuck it, and you just get Taco Bell and then you're just sitting there farting up a storm in bed just laughing at each other. It's a beautiful relationship.
We expanded these so-called third country agreements.
Is a taco a sandwich? We have discussed this, but I don't think so because a sandwich would constitute 2 things. This is also why I think a hot dog is not a sandwich because the bread, in my definition of a sandwich, needs to separate. Wait a minute. That would mean that, no, that would mean a sub's not a sandwich. Fuck. My logic is flawed.
Deporting thousands of immigrants to dozens of countries they have no...
I guess it is. The taco's a sandwich. Well, fuck me.
...ties to. The immigrants who refused to get off the plane in Liberia were 4 men from Cuba, 1 from Brazil, as well as a woman from Cameroon.
No, a burger's a sandwich.
According to NBC News. The group was told they'd be returning to the U.S., but instead were taken to Malabo City in Equatorial Guinea.
What the fuck?
In Texas, a federal...
No! Could you imagine being caught on that? You get deported and they're just like, oh, yeah. No, you're actually going back to the U.S. Yeah, they made a mistake and they're just like, welcome to New Guinea. It's like, huh?
Judge on Tuesday.
Get off the bus. Wait, what? It's like, you're home. No, I'm not. No, you're home. Bye.
Jay ordered the release of a second key witness in the fatal shooting of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo.
Congratulations, you got past the 7-year itch.
Mexican father who was killed by an ICE agent in Houston on July 7th. Daniel Tirado Pantoja was one of 3 passengers in Araujo's van the morning of the shooting, along with Araujo's younger brother, Victor Salgado, who is still in ICE detention nearly 2 months later. Pantoja must be released within 48 hours. This comes as the ICE agents involved in Araujo's killing have still not been identified.
Nope.
To see our coverage of this case, go to our
it's insane,
website.
dude. It's genuinely insane that we're just...
Colombia's new right-wing president, Abelardo de la Espriella, has vowed to deport thousands of immigrants, mainly Venezuelans, from the country. According to the UN, around 2.8 million Venezuelans are currently living in Colombia. This is de la Espriella speaking Tuesday.
The order to migration is clear start operations in coordination with the police in Barranquilla to find illegal immigrants. First, those committing crimes. Second, those with their situation not regularized, who, in the end, will have to be deported.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked the state of Ohio from requiring residents to present proof of citizenship documentation when registering to vote at motor vehicle offices. The decision is the latest legal setback against efforts by Trump allies to tighten voting restrictions in key states ahead of the midterms in November. This comes as a federal judge in Massachusetts found the Trump administration violated a court injunction by finalizing new regulations with the U.S. Postal Service that would overhaul voting by mail nationwide if they're enforced. Tuesday's ruling prevents the measures from taking effect for now and comes in response to a motion by the League of Women Voters of Massachusetts. This follows a separate ruling by the Supreme Court on Monday, allowing President Trump to implement his executive order restricting mail-in ballots. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York lashed out at critics of his meeting with Trump envoy and son-in-law Jared Kushner.
Yeah, of course he would. But the thing is, dude, you're only lashing out because you know how fucking wrong you were.
On X, quote, "No one from the Trump cartel is getting a pass." The New York Times reports the meeting was arranged by
Yet he's getting a pass.
A mutual friend of Jeffries and Kushner, and aimed at finding areas of, quote, common ground if Democrats regain control of one or both chambers of Congress in November's midterm elections. News of the meeting prompted fresh calls for Hakeem Jeffries to step down from his leadership role as the top House Democrat. Tommy Vitor, a former aide to President Barack Obama, wrote, quote, "Jared Kushner has no actual government job. He just uses his family connections to get money from Gulf autocrats and fund corrupt deals. The only way Representative Jeffries should work with him is with demands for documents and subpoenas," end quote. In South Carolina, Darlene Graham, the sister of the late Republican Lindsey Graham, won the state's Republican Senate primary runoff Tuesday. President Trump had thrown his support behind her candidacy. Graham won the 52% of the vote. Her challenger, Congressmember Ralph Norman, secured 48%. Darlene Graham has never held public office. A federal judge on Tuesday rejected Ghislaine Maxwell's bid to overturn her sex trafficking conviction and 20-year prison sentence, calling her claims, quote, demonstrably meritless. Maxwell was the former girlfriend and accomplice to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The judge said that Maxwell, acting as the woman in charge of Epstein's various residences, enforced an atmosphere in which employees knew not to speak. He said the tactics she and Epstein relied on were the same ones child predators typically use, and that Maxwell took part in the abuse herself. In Pennsylvania, 2 unvaccinated people have died from measles. They're the first measles deaths in the U.S. this year. More measles cases have been reported in
They actually just found one in the Chicago area.
2026 than in any year.
I mean, Chicago area is putting it a little... I mean, it's over by, like, the Calb, which is, like, country. It's like... It's just outside of the Chicago city limits.
The virus was declared eliminated in 2000. This is Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro.
So far this year, there have been...
Are they Republicans? I actually mean that. Are they Republicans getting the measles?
393 confirmed
If they're
cases.
Republican kids or like they're Republicans' kids, that should be enough to like actually kind of outrage everybody. And I mean from all walks of life. That should get people from MAGA to kind of go like, because you can go like, do you care about children? Yeah. Okay, so you care about the health of children? Yeah. Well, hold on. You're going to start going with that vaccination thing, aren't you?
Of measles in Pennsylvania.
Long hair doesn't suit you.
The highest number of measles
just fine.
cases since
I look wonderful. My wife loves it.
1992. Nearly 20% of those cases have resulted in someone being hospitalized.
CNN is reporting that members of a specialized team that responds to natural disasters and other emergencies in national parks have been sent to Washington, D.C. to work on President Trump's pet project, ranging from the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool to fountain renovations and removing debris at the East Potomac Golf Course. The officials are also compiling highly detailed status reports for Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. A longtime Park Service employee who spoke anonymously to CNN said, quote, political folks have wanted to know even the tiniest details, and it's always about schedule. Will it be on time? The focus on Trump's beautification projects comes as the western U.S. confronts the most wildfires in a decade and a water crisis that has gripped several states. And legendary singer...
But totally, he's totally in touch with the American electorate, guys.
Songwriter and country superstar Dolly Parton died Tuesday in Nashville, Tennessee, surrounded by loved ones. She was 80 and had reportedly been battling cancer. News of Dolly Parton's death sparked tributes around the world honoring a musical legacy that spanned decades. Dolly Parton won multiple Grammys and numerous other awards. Dolly Parton also starred in the 1980 film 9 to 5 with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. During a reunion with her co-stars in 2006, Dolly Parton did an impromptu version of her hit song from the film.
Nope. Nope. The audio, I'm sorry, the audio thing is just nope. I'm not fucking with this.
And is also remembered as a champion of the working class, an advocate for children's literacy,
I don't take
education,
that. No, I'm not taking that chance.
LGBTQ+ and women's rights.
Yeah, but MAGA's just, I mean, hey, it is cool to see that the flag is at half,
healthcare,
half staff or
and
whatever.
for her commitment to philanthropy. Dolly Parton created the Imagination Library,
Half-mast or whatever.
inspired by her father's inability to read and write. The library has gifted more than 300 million books to children over the last 3 decades. She grew up in extreme poverty in the Great Smoky Mountains of rural Tennessee and became one of the most influential artists in American history. This is Dolly Parton in her own words speaking when she was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2001.
I do know that I'm so honored and so proud to be here, and I've been writing songs all of my life, and this beats the heck out of standing up on the hill above the barn.
I want to say that. Okay, that's it. Here, hold on.
It's going viral right now because he told Trump, F you, live on air. Just watch.
Years out of high school and I'm already struggling for my life. It's just
President Trump, what do you tell him right now?
look him in the face and just say, you. That's about it.
Look, this is a MAGA guy from Iowa. He's 2 years out of high school. He's
Okay,
struggling because Donald Trump.
All right. Sorry, it was important enough for a friend to send to me, so I was just like, it's Harry Sison. I gotta tell him to get better sources.
Chickens and the pigs practicing all the new songs.
Oh, but what I was saying about
Democracy Now!
what I was saying about Dolly, it's kind of like, yeah, but 80, you had a great run. Like, at what point do we just like, you can't say gone too soon. Like, I don't. You can't hear it that well? Sorry. All right. So what ended up happening is it's a reporter asking this 19-year-old kid that just got out of high school what he thought about his vote for Trump and what he would say to Trump right now. He just said, I would look him dead in the face and tell him, fuck you. Yeah. Amy deserves her rest. Wait. Shit. Hold on. Oh, yeah, Dolly deserves her rest. Yeah, and again, 80. that's a long life, dude. Like 80 is a great life. I'll be, as I said, like, why am I the only one that could, like, I can look at, if I make it to 80, do you know how lucky I will be? Like, I'm not even kidding. With all the cancers out there, the way that, like, it's affecting young people, my family's history, oh my God, if I make it to 80, that in itself is going to be an accomplishment. Jesus Christ, I can't show this. Okay, so because Reuters is being really weird with this, I'm not even going to show it. What I will do, though, is I'm going to read this. So, breaking news. Let me just pull this over here. All right. Breaking news. U.S. says Chinese hackers broke into the Justice Department, NASA, Federal Reserve, and the Senate. Justice Department says it seized domains for QScan and QT router hacking platforms. Affidavit identifies Energy, HHS, NIH, and four U.S. and South Korean companies as victims. Hackers targeted sensitive U.S. and global networks since 2018. Breaking, the United States said on Wednesday that it had disrupted a Chinese hacking operation for break-ins and attempts on the U.S. Justice Department, NASA, Federal Reserve, and the Senate, and other sensitive government agencies. In a statement, the Justice Department said it had seized domains used by two hacking platforms dubbed QScan, QT router, which it said had been used part of the campaign. An affidavit identified the U.S. Department of Energy, Department of Health and Human Services, National Institute of Health, and four unnamed companies in the U.S. and South Korea as among hackers' victims as well. The Chinese embassy in Washington did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Beijing routinely denies responsibility for hacking activity. The Justice Department said the platforms were run by a Chinese-based firm, the Nanjing Quzhuwei, Xinjiwei Network Technology Company. Yeah, I said that right. Haha. Whose clients, it said, included Chinese Civilian Intelligence Agency, the Ministry of State Security, the military, and the People's Liberation Army. Nanjing Xinjiwei did not immediately respond to a request from comment outside of normal business hours. These attacks started in 2018. Experts who follow Chinese cyber activities say private contractors routinely carry out high-profile intrusions on behalf of the Chinese government agencies. Over the last decade, the number of companies offering niche offensive services has exploded. Dakota Carey, a Chinese analyst with cybersecurity Sentinel-1, said. Jesus. So that's great. Wait, they got hidden cookies or sniffer or whatever on their called on passport.gov, so watch out, everyone. Oh, no kidding. Pep is ready for the inevitable takeover. Learn your Mandarin. Hack attack is fake news to me. The Republic is dead, and all that's left is the trappings of the Empire. Well, it's funny. Like, whenever I recently was watching, not Democracy Now! Sorry, I just turned that off. Breaking Points. I was just watching a Breaking Points video before I started the show today. And they were kind of like talking, like, I forgot what the actual subject was. But at one point you could kind of hear it where finally it's starting to get to them. Like, the insanity really, like, it's going to break any, like, normal person. And that's why I was kind of also saying it is weird that, you know, they kind of can keep it together. I want to learn Chinese. I actually would love to. Sorry, I'm learning Cantonese. That's definitely different. I do know that. I know. Well, wait, because there's Mandarin, Chinese. There's so many different dialects, too. Saying learning Mandarin always feels weird to me. I don't like it. I just want to learn a different language. I would love to speak a different language. I can kinda speak a little bit of Spanish, but not much. Wait. She was on Owen Schroyer? Oh, I don't care about that. Owen Schroyer was just on with one of our people from this space. What am I supposed to be? Mad at Gina for talking to Owen? Or is this something else? What'd she say? Sylvie, is it... I want to make sure it's worth it, because I don't want to watch something where all of a sudden I'm just like, that was a waste of an hour. Not saying that it is, but when it comes to Anna Crapsparian, I'm not really looking to... Yeah, spend that much time on it. Probably don't like it because of the Mandarin Messiah. How big of rips you're taking? You'll be lucky to make it in the next 8 minutes, let alone 80. Thank you for your service. Hey. Sure. Well, this isn't what you... This isn't the thing that you might think it is. No, I'm all right. I get my lungs scanned every 2 years, I think. It's like every 2 years. Well, I got this thing. Well, I got this thing from my wife's, but... Oh, actually, we forgot to do the test. Wait. This guy thinks that I might have breathing problems. Let's see. I'm going to put it to 3,500. We're going to go to 3,500. All right, let's see. Can I do it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm okay. See, I held it there too. It's not super important, don't worry. Okay, so it's just, Sylvie, is there any, like, do you have a timestamp maybe, or like an idea of when there might have been like something heated in there? Like here, okay, if you don't mind, little homework for you, since you want me, like, you sent me the clip. If you can find me a timestamp to start from, I'll play it in the fun half, because honestly, like, I got all night tonight. I'm gonna do propaganda, so Peppy could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Probably. I'm not saying what, dude, stop it. I'm not calling you, dude. You're the one who typed out your name, okay? So I'm gonna call you Non, because I always go based on like the front part of your name if I can identify you. If you want an actual call out on this show, buy a super chat. That's the best way to get it. God damn, I hate to be this dick, but seriously, the amount of people that are like, this is the problem. This really is part of the problem, because there's the entitled, like, it's entitlement. Like, that kind of entitlement is insane. To go on a live streamer, on a live streamer's platform, especially a smaller live streamer, and just be like, say what I want said, and not even dono. Like, fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you. I'm tired of that. No, just like everywhere else, if you want something said, or if you want my attention like that bad, then you can pay. They literally have a structure for that. Sorry. Sylvie, I'm curious what happened to Cajun Karate Master, or do you know? Cajun Karate Master? Wait, Cajun... Hair over the shoulder, what the fuck, cuz? Wearing a hat. I wear my hair over my shoulder. Look! I have hair. It's messy hair. That's the reason I'm wearing a fucking hat today, but... I know. For everybody that thinks that I'm bald under this hat. I love this hat so much, though. It's my favorite. Slump gone. Proper, are you jealous of the drip? I think he is. I don't know. One of my buddies had a really funny rip on me. We were talking about like how we dress, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, you know, you got Pep over here looking like he stepped out of Tony Hawk Create a Character." That was one of the funniest fucking burns I've gotten in a while. He's not wrong. I love you, brother. If you're I know you watch sometimes, so if you're if you're here, you ask one more time, I'm banning you. I don't even have to. Yeah, just ban him. I'm fucking done. Ridiculous. So this is his first stream he's been here. Hold on. Okay, so he's an old man who plays guitar and seems to just, is a multinational company founded. Oh, he's trying to get me to say his company's name. That's the whole thing he's trying to do here. How about we just call you Bot Beep Boop Beep Boop? Oh, no. I mean, he's got 400 something subs. It seems like he is what he says he is, like an 80-year-old dude who plays guitar, might be Italian. I don't know. But this Zaire is a fake, a fraud, and a half fucking broad, man. Oh, here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. There I go, being the star again. There I go, turn the page. Well, I mean, I'm gonna sing a little Bob Seger since literally, you know, is he a woman or a man? The fact that that's literally applicable to what he's like trying to do there, it's just like, okay. Every 70s, you know, or every rocker since the 70s, I guess, or 60s. Got your hair, you damn hippie. That wasn't supposed to be. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Yeah, there I go. Playing the star again. There I go. Turn the page. No, you're right. I can't. Yeah. Singing lessons, please. Yeah, I'm not great. It's fine. I'm doing falsetto fucking impression voice. Fuck you. I was trying to do the fucking Bob Seger bit. I ain't no singer. I'm a fucking comic, dude. I can carry a little bit of a tune. Like I said. Not the best, not the worst. I mean, dude, trust me, you've heard worse at fucking karaoke. We all have. I mean, come on. You got that, I call him like the fifth beer piano man guy. Every fucking time. It's like you hear that piano key start, and you're just like, oh, here we go. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. It's like, oh, God. But then halfway through the song, you're like, this is a banger. I love this, especially if you're drunk. Oof, yes. I mean, come on. We've all been there. Actually, speaking of... Okay. No, it was actually funny. I took singing lessons. Now I know what I can do. I'm essentially the guy that, like, if you need to do Carmen Sandiego, I'll do boom bop boom bop doom bop doom bop doom. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Wait, can I do the deep one? Carmen Sandiego. You'll let it slide this time? What? Because I bet you're that good of a... Actually, you probably are. Dude, I hate when people are, like, really good, when they could just... I'm like, oh, that's cool. What I really hate is when there's some schmuck, though, that thinks he's a good singer, and then he does the thing where he's just like, fly me to the moon, let me stray across the sky, or whatever the fucking words are. I fucking crooner assholes. Hey, bop a doo bop a doo bop a doo bop. Oh, God. It's every 50-plus-year-old dude that fucking, again, karaoke. Like, again, fat dude over 50, especially in Chicago. He is at some point in the night gonna do some fucking Mickey Blue Eyes. I never guessed right. Not one single show did I guess where that sneaky bitch was hiding. I love the joke singing. Hey, good. You better. My biggest tip is always singing is kind of like yawning in key. Uh-huh. Oh, night. Ohio is where I don't wanna go. There, that's me singing. That's my act. That's me doing the. I've heard you do some proper singing once a long stream ago. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I've done some. Like I'm not afraid. I don't give a shit. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? With songs they have sung for 1,000 years. There he is. The sad part is that's still joke music. Freebird. Pep Sinatra over here. Yeah, no, no, oh, Danny boy. I can't do that. Oh, man. Although it is funny to hear my wife sing that one. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. As I said, I don't do that one. Hills are, I don't mind some Sound of Music. Actually, that's more of the Ewan McGregor from Moulin Rouge. That's why I know that. I hate to say. But I also don't hate to say because I fucking love that movie. The movie's fire. I want to be I've always wanted to play the narcoleptic Argentinian, like if they did like a Broadway thing. Anyway, so now that I'm done kind of screwing around singing, let's get back to some news. I free two birds whenever I see a MAGA. That song sucks. When your name is Dan. Yeah. You know what song sucks for me? Charles in charge of our days and our nights. Especially when Peter Griffin did it. Although, you know what? Screw it. Eat it. Alrighty, guys. Where are we at? We're at almost the... Yeah, that's where I was waiting. I was like, wait a minute. Isn't it going to be 4:20 somewhere? Literally in like a minute. Well, then we shall celebrate. How about that? All right, let's get back to the news. If it wants to work today. There we go.
President Donald Trump has come back with the ultimate rebuttal. In his trade war with Canada, he's going to rename Lake Ontario Lake America. Look out.
I still can't.
In any event, here we have Canadian
Fucking Trump,
Minister of
dude.
Finance. I love this. Francois-Philippe Champagne.
We're going to call it Lake America. Lake of America. I like the sound of it.
With what the Canadian response to the U.S. trade war is going to be.
Kiss my
On
ass.
August 22nd, the United States of America imposed tariffs on 50% on approximately $28 billion in Canadian goods. Those tariffs will have real consequences for Canadian workers, businesses, and communities across our nation. Canada must respond, and today we are, in a proportionate, targeted, and strategic way. Today I'm announcing that Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate. Effective September 8th, Canada will impose counter tariffs of up to 15, 25, or 50% on $27.6 billion in imports from the United States of America. For each product, our tariff would match the American tariff on the same type of Canadian good.
And the Canadians said that they're trying to target with precision states that voted for Trump. And so if you live in one of those states, they're going after particular products made in those states because they know they don't have the capacity to kind of break the back or break the economy of the entire United States because they're not big enough. But they can make things very difficult for particular towns and cities in states that voted for Trump.
By the way, guys, if you could do me a favor, if you guys have cable, can you please tune in to TBS? AEW is doing a special event for an ex-wrestler called Rebel. Her name's Rebel. She has ALS. It's terminal. And yeah, they're doing a lot for ALS awareness. They actually brought back the Ice Bucket Challenge. If you guys can tune in, or if you have HBO Max or whatever, it's also on there. Just go to the sports page, or it should be on the front page, AEW Dynamite. It's important to me that tonight they get some ratings because it's really, really shitty.
Trump, however, has got your back. And here's how he's going to do it. Put up B1 here. Donald Trump on Truth Social. The United States is giving serious consideration to changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America, in that we don't expect to be doing much business with Ontario any longer. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And of course, he also posted...
What are we distracting from? The Iran war? Is that what we're doing? Like the fact that he lost the Iran war, is that why we're moving on? Like this, we were never at war?
A little image, a little AI rendition where he X's out Lake Ontario and replaces it with Lake America. Now, we can, with B3, we can roll through some of the specifics here. So Canada's talking about...
I don't have a link.
Trump is saying that he's going to move tariffs on Canadian vehicles up to 50%.
I
So
can link to at least her ALS challenge
and
thing.
saying, okay, well then we're gonna push tariffs on Canadian vehicles back up to 50%. It's a kind of a crisis situation where you have the auto workers in both states, and the United Auto Workers represent auto workers in Canada and the U.S., and you have the auto executives begging him not to do this. So the industry that he's fighting for is pleading with him not to do this. He's saying he's going to do it anyway. Before Honda, which I think five of the top 10 vehicles
It's
that are
one of the top
American
sellers in the
made.
United States.
Yeah, and made in the United States too, and made in North America.
Many of them are made in America. Yes.
Like they invested very heavily in creating supply chains and factories in the U.S. and Canada.
Not out of the goodness of their heart, by the way,
No,
because we
not at all.
forced them to do so.
We forced them to do so.
We forced them to do it.
And so they're saying we might have to raise prices because their supply chains run back and forth across the border.
Right, I can explain this.
Yeah,
actually,
Robert.
This is part of the. First of all, I just want to say at the top, like
that's cool.
Obviously, and this is look,
Also,
Canadians are going to get mad, but it
word 'em up. What up?
Is actually true.
Welcome
NAFTA
to,
was a
welcome to the show.
disaster for us. It wasn't
This is
for
your first
you.
time
It worked
here?
out real well
Welcome.
for you.
Actually, that goes. Wait a minute. I haven't done that. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Pep. If you haven't already hit the like, please do. Subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Hope you're enjoying the vibe. We're covering some news right now.
A lot of our manufacturing plants in Detroit and throughout the United States moved to Canada and to Mexico, either for labor arbitrage purposes or for various other access to resources. I get it. I don't blame a multinational for doing that, for taking advantage, but it did not work out for our working class. The way that the cars are made right now is basically NAFTA plus USMCA, which means that many of these cars, and this is what Honda is talking about, the parts in the car, in some cases, can move across the border up to 10 to 15 times. I'm exaggerating. It may not always be that much, but various different types of the car, once it's finally assembled in the United States, there are parts in it that come from all over the world, but particularly move back and forth for machine purposes, manufacturing purposes, that eventually make their way into the Honda vehicle, which you eventually purchase in the United States. Honda does this because that's the way that NAFTA and USMCA set out the law. They said there won't be any tariffs that are on those. Again, I don't support this system. I don't think it should be that way, but it is what it is at this point. So then when the tariff comes into effect, what ends up happening with the way that Trump is doing it is it would increase the cost every time that thing moves across the border. That's why the car manufacturers are freaking out, because that would raise the imminent cost of them. If you have to pay that cost even once, or imagine 10 times, that explodes the cost of the increment on the actual part. Also, from what I understand, the car makers know this shit's not actually going to last. So most of the time, they'll just keep it in Canada. They're like, look, we're just going to wait for the taco, and then we'll move it across the border.
Yeah, that's actually
that time.
It's not
but
the first time I've
what does
heard
that
that.
do? Now production has to shut down. Now you're going to not meet quotas. It causes all kinds of insanity whenever it comes to the vehicle tariff. Or I mean, even right now, Trump said he was going to double the tariff to 50% whenever it comes to the
subscribing to Pep adds plus 20 to your charisma, plus 20 aura. Like
Civic
it.
sedan, for example.
God damn, I need to apply those to my character.
Honda currently assembles the Civic in Canada. It's the second largest vehicle manufacturer by volume.
My character has -1 charisma.
And so a lot of that is eventually sold
I had to
here
put
in
it
the
into
United
agility.
States. Again, I don't want to give the Canadians like too much credit, because and this has happened under Biden, so this isn't just TDS or anything. Under Biden, you can go and read the headlines. There were all of these Made in America provisions for the EV manufacturing credits. The Canadians were lobbying the hell out of the government. They're like, how can you do this to us? You can't just make it in your country. Like, you need to make it in ours. We're like, no, we want to make it in our country. The Canadians were furious with Biden, and even more so under Donald Trump. So it's like kind of a years-long story. Same thing happened in Europe. I get it. They're looking out for their interests. I think we should look out for ours. Now, is this the way I would handle our relationship with Canada? No. As I said, I don't have any great love for Canada. But
why?
What we can see here is even if you were to support this in a vacuum.
This guy's such a weenie, dude.
Which is, it's true.
I can't get over him.
Canada needs us a lot more than we need them, but we still need them. Major top trading partner. To launch this at a time of massive inflation and to do it in such a manner where the Canadian population is much better positioned to absorb the price increase. Yes, I put this up here while I'm talking about it, is that their population is 100% united.
They're on like a war footing.
They don't care. Yeah, they're like, all right, we're going to pay more for Tim Hortons.
We'll eat grass. If it means.
Yeah, as long as you agree. It was like, so be it. We'll sit there and we're going to take it. Are we going to sit there and are we going to take it while you're paying? What's the gas price today? Let me check. $4.10 on average per gasoline. It's like, well, we're sitting here paying high.
Wait, Dylan Burns went to freaking Lebanon?
Gas, high grocery, and all this other stuff. They obviously have their own problems, but we're the aggressor. And if we're going to be the aggressor, the whole population has to be on our side. And nobody's on their side. They don't care about this at this time.
Know
Again,
what's happening.
In a vacuum, sure, whatever. And you can make a case, etc. Even then, you wouldn't.
Yeah, why not just get rid of all our trading partners? Let's be isolationists, so it'll be fine.
Probably want to do like a back and forth type of trade war, on again, off again.
Dude, they literally think that way.
So. And what you're watching effectively is that the Canadian government, right and left, is totally united against the United States. I mean, Doug Ford is like a national hero in Canada for all of this like kiss my ass stuff. And what you're watching is on our side, nobody wants to pay any of these higher tariffs, also because they don't even think it's going to be paired with a bigger manufacturing push, which now we've had the tariffs for over a year. We know it's not leading to that, especially because of downward pressure from the overall economy. The diesel price plus the tariff, a lot of these manufacturers are dead in the United States if this continues.
And it's also a bit of a sideshow, given that electric vehicles, you know, in the next decade or whatever, are going to sweep the entire country. It would be sort of.
I don't know if it will here. I think that they'll put so much protectionism on the gas that. I mean,
Maybe.
look, I gotta save my smoke for the American consumer. Dodge was out here bragging about the Dodge Ram being the #1 seller in the country. There are guys out there taking out 9% interest car loans over 48 months, buying $80,000 souped up trucks for literally no reason. And so there is a part of that in the American heart which will never go away.
And maybe that's right.
Right.
I look at it as like two different like countries competing over the manufacturing of horse and buggies in like 1905.
It's a fair point. I mean, gas is always going to be part of our market.
Maybe I'm wrong, and you're right that just the construction of our lives and the suburban nature of it and the cultural attachment to the gas guzzlers is going to override pure economics. We'll see. But you're right. Like, if you were going to redesign the system, you would renegotiate it. Like, sit down. You know, Trump had the USMCA that he agreed to.
By the way, there's no winning answer on this poll. Just go ahead and answer whatever you want.
Like, if he wanted a different trade policy, the massive trade negotiation that was underway was like the place to do it. This like ad hoc scattershot tariff war that he likes to do is, because they don't expect it to stick, it doesn't have the effect. You're right that the reason that Honda is here is because of U.S. tariffs and because of U.S. trade policy.
Yeah.
And also just...
Yeah, but every time he hears trade deficit, he's like, there's a deficit in there. That's bad. It's like, no, that's actually kind of good. That means that they buy more.
Enormous amounts of kind of...
they buy more of our products, but fine.
It bordered into
whatever.
xenophobic, anti-Japanese...
Right.
Like,
so the game that everybody knows about the Japanese,
but it was long. It was a long game.
Right. And so what happened is
like,
post 1970s, after the actually Trump was all over Oprah talking about how bad Japan was. I had a point actually at the time because of the undercutting of our market. The deal the Japanese made throughout the 80s and 90s, especially post-NAFTA, is we were like, look, we know everybody wants your cars. They're cheaper. They're better than ours. You just got to build them here. The Japanese are like, we don't really want to, but I guess. All right, we'll do it. And so what I've heard from more recently is inside Japan, their belief is that they would have been better off in the long run just making them Japan.
At this rate, the North Koreans will be surpassing U.S. technology in about 4 hours.
And ship it and paying the tariff. They're sick of building here. They're done. They hate American work culture. They hate most of the states. I'm dead serious. They hate American work culture. They hate the government. They think they would have been better off just building the cars in Japan and paying whatever the variable tariff would have been.
Let Ford deal with these American workers.
Let Ford deal with all this bullshit and the state of Michigan government, right? Because in Japan, when the CEO of Honda needs something, the Japanese prime minister is like, "What do you need? All right, here you go." They're like, oh, you want 100 billion? Here's 200.
You brought me a present.
Make sure that it works out. It's not how it works here, right? So basically, look, the TLDR is that while I do think we have major structural problems in our trade with Canada, the way that this has been done, especially the whole Lake America thing, I'm like, my God, do you have any original ideas? Sure, it was funny on the first day, Gulf of America and all of that. We can all start looking at maps and why Gulf of Mexico is actually a Spanish colonial name. It's actually quite woke to rename it Gulf
That's right.
of America.
Yeah.
I support
It
that. I think
actually
it's-
is.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, why should we be using a Spanish colonial name? But in reality, we all know, number one, this is not going to lead to a better deal. It will lead to chaos. It will lead to higher prices. It will also lead to worsening relations with Canada, which maybe we could have afforded pre-Iran war. I don't think we could right now with our top trading partner. It's part of a global isolation game. I will say, though, with Canada, you know, it's their population wants to fight. But remember, Mark Carney gave that whole speech about neoliberalism and the standing
the
up
sign
and
in the window.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to change everything, and then immediately came back and backed Trump on the Iran war and you know, became like this NATO, you know, obsessive. So they need to make up their mind too. Like, what are you guys going to do? I think we have to live together and we got to work it out. But look, that's not really what either. That's maybe what our population wants. I'm not so sure that's what they want.
And meanwhile, China is like playing a lot of football.
Thanks to Donald Trump, we'll all be paying for groceries and Pokemon cards.
With Canada.
Totally.
All right, that'll be 80 Kabutos, please.
They have very different rules in Canada. A lot of their Teslas have much more Chinese components from Giga Shanghai. I think maybe 10% or so. A lot of them are not even allowed to be sold here in the United States. So they have very different rules and relations with China and kind of their engagement with the rest of the world. So they're doing a balancing act, which they didn't previously